All right. And we are live. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast, episode number 70. Damn, 70, y'all. And it's another glorious Sunday, and we are back at the round table on the Lord's Day. Don't know where our special guest is just yet, but hopefully we can figure this thing out, man. Lord South and get in the realm. But of course, we have the four horsemen of gaming, those usual suspects at the round table. My co-host with the co-most, my brother from another mother, the difficult game conqueror, and the howl of the young wolf. My man, Lord Addict, how you doing, sir?
What's going on, you guys?
Yeah, man. What's going on? You sound like a rough night at the office, man. You was at the bar last night. What's going on?
No, I ended up playing Divinity till like 5 in the morning.
I figured.
Yeah, you said Divinity 1 or Divinity 2?
The first one.
That boy with the reference copy. I was about to go at you.
No, actually, I have a mini rant on that.
Oh, we gonna get into it? Okay.
How is a game going to be in game preview and be $60?
I don't understand that because the game is finished. Like, why would it go in preview on Xbox when it's finished elsewhere? What? The game is finished. Like, I don't understand why it's in preview on Xbox.
Oh no! I guess that's something we must rant about.
To talk about when we get to the lords. Interesting, and of course we have our most technical gaming lord, the solo gamer who lives for the single player selfish experience, and also the Sostradamus, Mr. Offline Profile Illuminati, and Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank. My man, Lord Sovereign, how you doing, sir?
What's up, guys? Doing well, man. I got to get out last night after 2 weeks of like being locked in like work mode.
Plataforma.
Yeah, Plataforma. I got to get my LeBlanc on.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up.
The LeBlancs was back.
Shoveling all that meat.
For the realm that doesn't know, Plataforma is a Plataforma is a place for the lords where we like to eat all the greatest and finest meats of the land. And indulge indulge ourselves in the finest drinks and what's it called? The LeBlanc. What's the real
LeBlanc?
It's a Brazilian caipirinhas, but it's different.
Yo,
flavors.
let me tell you something real quick, man. They real shiesty with these LeBrons, okay? Let me tell you, you're eating your food, and they come and they cutting the meat up next to you. Straight out. Pause again. So, but you got a smorgasbord of food all over. This place is the gluttonous place on the planet, the most gluttonous place on the planet. I mean, if you want to go there and engorge yourself and anything possible, it is right there. All types of fresh meats cut in front of you, blood still dripping off. They're like, do you want the red blood or do you want the cooked in your face?
That's right. We want our venison slayed in front of us and eat.
Right there, they bring the sheep out and cook them in front of you. And the lady shows up with the drink bar at your table, and if your table is popping, they hit you with the LeBlanc. Yeah. All right, now listen, the LeBlanc is so delicious. It is so delicious. This is the first time I've ever spent $200 on myself eating.
Yes.
Okay, let me explain. And I only eat fish. I'm a pescatarian. So, most of that was on LeBlanc's. Come to find out, LeBron's is like $15.
$15. Yeah, the drinks ain't cheap, y'all. The drinks are not cheap, but it's something we kind of do annually. You know what I'm saying? A little tradition,
once or twice. Yeah,
Lord Marlonius, Lord Kai Batu was in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Lord David has to abstain from that situation because they don't have enough fish for the king.
So that's where we went after we saw Ant-Man and Wasp. So that was good. Movie was excellent, funny, nice change of pace from Infinity War, and then the gut punch. But I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We won't spoil too much, but make sure you see it. It's therapeutic post Infinity War.
You got one more week to see it, and then we're gonna blow it up for you.
Yeah. So real quick, I wanted to say something real quick on the Patreon stuff because since our last show, we've gotten 4 more patrons, and I don't want to wait a month to give these guys their thanks. So I want to just real quick go through it.
Go for it, Lord.
First off, Lord Whiskey himself, Corey Leidick, thank you so much, brother. You're such an integral part of the Iron Lords. Thank you for the support, brother. That's amazing. After that, the PlayStation bra.
That's what's up, man.
Fantastic
Shout out to the
support. Thank you so much, bro. I'm so pissed that I haven't met you yet, but I heard you're an amazing person. Thank you so much. Lord J. Fonz, always in the building, repping the Lord. So thank you so much, J.
Captain Neutral. What's good?
Yes, sir. And last but certainly not least, Lord Optimus Cole coming through.
Real dude.
Repping the Lords. Thank you so much, brother. Really appreciate the support. You guys are amazing. Absolutely amazing. This stuff is fantastic. And just thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. And then real quick, another Lord. Lord Snail Killer himself, Diago Padrão.
Yes, sir.
Lord Snail Killer has an issue where it's difficult for us to get him his rewards when he's won because of his geography. And he won the $20 gift card this past time, and it's just difficult to get it to him. So he graciously wants us to put it up in the chat for somebody to grab today.
Oh wow.
So guys, thank you, Lord Diago Padrão. That is amazing. Selfless on your part. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So guys in the chat, look out for a code later on at some point during the show. I'm not gonna say when it's gonna drop. It's gonna be in there. So you gotta be fast.
Salute man. Salute to Diago, man. Good dude. And definitely shout out to all the lords of the Iron Bank. They protect us, to protect the realm, keep us financed, to keep this thing going. That's what's up. And of course, we have the Incredible Hulk of this, aka the Excess Gamer.
Ooh.
The Lord of Combat Sports, who is a man of his convictions, demands nothing less than that premium experience, and is the Get Money Gamer.
Ooh.
Beloved Lord King, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing incredible. Let me tell you something. I'm not even getting into combat sports. Why? Because if you want to see combat sports, you got to go to ILP channel. It's up. All right. So you got to check that.
Bad happened right now.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't be ecstatic, Lord Addict, because I'm about to throw you in a fire right now. Check it out. Right. Check it out. We are moving in these Facebook streets. We are moving in these Instagram streets and these Twitter streets and on Twitch. Check it out. Lord Addict is head of the stream team. The stream team will be bringing you ILP content on a 24/7 basis. It will be 5 days out of the week, and on the Lord's Day, you might catch a Lord playing. So I want y'all to check that out. Now, when you go to the Instagram will have pictures and behind the scenes videos and everything up that you really don't get a chance to see on either the YouTube channel or you don't get to see on Twitter, but it's there. And the Facebook will give you upcoming events and stuff like that we're at and ways to purchase. But also, I want y'all to be on the lookout because we're wrapping things up and we keep on moving and keep on growing with the pure gaming theme. This is pure gaming. We want only gamers to game with us. So pure gaming theme, and we're moving forward with that when we get down with our partners where you can get that exclusive merchandise.
Nice.
That's the 4 Horsemen merchandise.
Oh, that's coming.
Round merchandise. Okay, that's the ILP merchandise. And soon you'll understand what Channel 5 is about. Real kung fu stuff.
Talk that talk. Of course, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. We got a lot of things going, and shout out to Lord King and Lord Addict for spearheading the stream team and the social media movements. You know what I'm saying? So that is what's up. And of course, we have the gaming ninja himself, the Shinobi, LordCognito, spreading that realness in the realm of the ILP. Not telling you what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. So there was a little bit of UFC last night, so I don't know if you saw any of it.
Completely missed it.
All right.
I just got to see the end of the pack out.
Literally, it'll be 1 minute. Santos main event, boring. He won decision. Chad Mendes came back. He fought Jury. long hiatus, beautiful 1-round knockout. It was great. And the golden boy, remember Sage Northcutt? It was the surfer looking dude that was
the guy that propped up.
Yeah, the guy that's 0-2
I like him.
that the UFC tried to push up to the front. He finally got his first win in welterweight. So salute to him. You know what I'm saying?
How'd he look?
He looked good. He looked good. He was getting cracked up in the face real hard. He almost got dropped out of there in the first. But yeah, dude caught him with a stiff, I believe, left hand in the middle of a brawling exchange. And but he got up, he toughened it out, and he was actually getting grounded out on the floor. But then he bounced back. Yeah, man, he came back.
He didn't quit like Matisse?
No, he did not quit like Matisse. Shout out. Yeah, please make sure y'all watch Combat Talk, man. King is out there killing it right now. That is amazing. So that was pretty much what it is. But yeah, great win for him. TKO win. So shout out to that brief UFC little outro. So anyway, while we wait, hopefully Lord Southbound will be able to join us in progress. But until then, I want to get into what the Lords are playing. So Lord Addict, what was that? You had some issues with the game? Was it Divinity? What's going on? What else you been playing?
Well, I'm playing Divinity 1. I've been switching back and forth from a variety of different games that's on Xbox. And I played a little bit of Moonlighters too, but that's about all.
Okay.
We gotta send them. Hold on. I gotta call FedEx fast right now so they can send you over a 5-hour energy.
Not about it today.
I had a hard night in the office.
In my room.
I've had a hard night in the office, man. No doubt. Lord Saul, what you been playing, man?
My PlayStation or Xbox has seen no burn in the last, literally have not been turned on the last 2 weeks. Just work crazy. So it's been all Switch business. And so to that end, they've been raping my pockets, bro. That's Switch.
So Switch?
I picked up the Hollow Knight. That is a fantastic game. They should have gotten the burn that it deserved last year when it came out on PC. And it just didn't happen. And now that it's out on Switch, it's an ideal sort of game for Switch. People are reviewing it now like it's kind of a brand new game. It's kind of crazy, but
Switch always get that brand new unfair treatment, like when it comes on their platform.
Exactly. So it's a fantastic adventure.
Y'all got backward compatibility without being backward.
So I got that, and then I told Treasure Tracker, which is I did not play on the Wii U, and by the looks of that picture that King put up, neither did he, because that game was in a wrapper.
Game was in a wrapper
hard in the wrapper.
Also, well, my joint when I purchased it for my Wii U, and my Wii U was downstairs when the basement and stuff was getting done. So I actually forgot about that game. So when I was going downstairs to play my Wii U the other day, I was like, oh wow, this just came out on Switch. Look at that.
What's funny is that I thought that game was only digital. I didn't even know they had a physical version on the Wii U.
No, they got physical for it, yeah.
Okay, so beyond that, my Game of the Year contender.
What game is this?
Bomb Chicken.
No, what is Bomb Chicken? That sound like our slogan.
It's one of those games that I was looking forward to really bad. So
what is Bomb Chicken sauce? Please explain this.
Bomb Chicken is it? First of all, the game looks it has that Yoshi's Island art style. So it's real pretty to look at. But basically, it's like a 2D platformer / puzzle game. So basically, you're a chicken that's imbued with the powers from the Lord above, imbued with the powers to lay bombs, right? And you're born in this facility where chickens get got. Chickens get got. So you've been imbued with these powers to be able to escape and help your brethren escape. So, dude, you lay bombs and then you make your way out of this facility.
Wow.
But the platforming stuff, the cool little puzzle stuff you do, like the physics stuff you do with the bombs, it's really well made. I can see why King David, when he saw it, was like, yeah, this is funny. I got to get this. Great,
I didn't buy it yet, but I will buy it. I will buy it. I didn't buy it.
DJ Sig is coming at you, Lord. He said, "What is Sovereign smoking?"
Listen, DJ Sig been doing it for a minute because he told me he don't eat chicken. I mean, he don't eat fish, but he loves chicken though. Get
No doubt. All right, so that's pretty much what it's been. It's been switch
That's it. That's it.
and bomb chicken game of the year
Bomb
candidate.
chicken. Oh, actually, in some Mario Tennis online.
Nice.
And that old man is crazy. Oh,
Okay.
online. Yeah, it's gangster online.
No doubt. Lord King, what have you been playing, sir?
Well, this week I've been definitely getting all my Destiny stuff up. Shout out to Lord Fastback who jumped inside my chat and we kicked it for a minute.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. That's the part I like. I like the fact that first of all, my parties is always open. So if you follow me on Xbox, or we're friends on Xbox, you just jump in and we talk. We play games.
Jump in with your own discretion.
Wait, he need a disclaimer, Addict? That's what he need?
Yes. What is in there? What goes on in that party?
You know why?
What goes on in that party does not represent what Iron Lords is.
Listen, when you jump, it's two different kings. And I'm gonna tell you right now, my kids watch this show. All right, my kids are not in my chat. All right, so knowing that part right there, and Fastback will attest to that. Like, wow, King is really loose.
Yeah, he said you said you need to do more of that. Thanks, King.
Yeah. So listen, y'all jump in. But what we was doing was, if you're part of our Destiny clan, I run you through your nightfalls. I run you through all the stuff that you got to get through. We run people through their raids. Shout out to Lord Hot Monkeys and Death for actually finishing the raid for the first time. We took them through the raid. They got it done. But I was playing.
Doing God's work.
That's the Lord's work.
That was serious. But I played a couple of Wii U games, like I said. I'm not gonna really get into those because there was really throwbacks like Donkey Kong Country and all that. I played this game called Technomancer on Xbox. It is 60 frames per second. It's in Game Pass. It is 60 frames per second. I think it's native 4K. I don't know. But the game is like some sideshow game. And it has me entranced for it's like a super B game. Like you like B movies. If you like B movies, you're gonna love this game. Like it's fun. And you see the flaws, you see what they was trying to do, but they work their own little mojo. So this is my little project that I'm playing. But if you want to check out a good game that looks really good, Technomancer.
Technomancer. All right, check that out. No doubt. How much is it? Put me on.
Well, this is free in Game Pass.
Oh,
I don't know about
Game Pass now.
Yeah.
Oh, now we can check it out. We can check it out now. Okay. Now you have my check it out.
The question is, King, that LordCognito really wants to know: is it on the Switch?
Oh God!
No. But
if it is on the Switch, it's at 380p and it's like 10 frames per second.
I'm gonna be real with y'all. I know y'all tease me. I always get the Switch ports of stuff, but with Game Pass out, that changes things. Like free is undefeated. Yeah. But in my mind, it's free. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. For me, it's been Destiny 2 Crucible all day. You know what I'm saying? So it's been the Iron Banner. You know what I'm saying? I gotta shout out some Lords right quick, man. Shout out my Lords. Punk Dish Gaming, always in the fridge and Crucible at the heavy. You know what I'm saying? Taking the heavy, making himself look extra good. Now real talk, Punk Dish, he's a beast. He's a beast, man. And I was definitely had a lot of fun.
Well, it's easy to be a beast when you shoot rockets at people.
Nah. He's nice. You know, because there was a couple matches where, because like it'd be funny when the heavy spawn and like you see who's chilling at the fridge waiting to cash out before it goes.
I need to start using that heavy more. I literally never use heavy. I grab it because I don't want them to have it, but I never use it.
Oh, you're bugging. That's probably why we lost maybe a few matches. You gotta use that heavy, man.
Wow.
So
what is that? Like, out of all the 20 games we've played, I might have not been on top of my game 4 of them.
Stop it. You wasn't that dumb.
Yeah, but the fact that you hold the heavy, when you die, the heavy drops out of your butt.
Drops out.
So what you need to do is just make sure that you use that heavy because you walking over there giving them heavy. Bringing it to them. Like
I love that
delivery heavy.
I know a lot of people don't like it. They feel so much heavy, but I just love the fact that, like I said, everyone has it. I mean, that it spawns quicker and that it rewards the skilled player for killing, that person who has heavy by giving them heavy. Love it. Damn, I sound like I'm a Flash player. Right now. But anyway, and also I want to shout out Lord Addict, of course, doing his thing. Lord Sinister, a relevant native, man. We was getting some sweaty trials on. Shout out to him, man. He was like, yo, y'all got to work on your call outs. And I was like, you know what? You're right. And we started improving. So shout out to shout out to Irrelevant. And of course, Lord Mooch was in the building. You know what I'm saying? Which was, yeah, Iron Banner was lit. Addict can tell you. We was in there. You know what I mean? Jay Fonz was teasing his Guardians clothes. So his clothes game, he got to step that up, man. He was looking a little sus out there with a chest piece. But other than that, he was fine. You know what I'm saying? That was a good run. And yeah, man, had a good time playing a lot of that. As far as Switch, I'm still on my Banner Saga grind. I'm trying to get that out because part 2 dropped, and then they just put part 3 is going to be coming on the eShop. So I got to get these games done. Had a lot of fun with that. And another thing, LordSov, one of my classics, favorite of all time, Another World dropped on the Switch.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I saw that.
You know, Max Sharuma. Remember that joint?
Oh God.
Yes, Max Sharuma dropped with Buddy. So I had to pick it up. I pick up Another World literally on every platform it drops. It doesn't matter what generation. That's one of my favorite games of all time. And that game, I believe, when we had Lord Jacobus on, was created all by one man. That game.
Yeah.
That's insane. So shout out to the legendary Another World in the library now on Switch. So we're gonna get into what's up?
Hold on 1 second. Let me give a shout out to our stream team member L Boogie. Like, follow, subscribe, follow her on all platforms. Please make sure that you do that because unbeknownst to a lot of people, she's one hell of a PUBG player.
Oh yeah, she gets busy. She gets busy. I've been retweeting streams. I'm trying to catch it. Yeah, she definitely gets L Boogie up in here. Prize well up in here. Let me stop. But yeah, man. So last week's E3, not the E3, the poll last week was actually with rumors of next generation consoles appearing to be releasing much sooner than later. How do you feel about the current generation of consoles coming to a close? The winner at 53% in a fairly close 3-way ILP poll is the current generation is over too soon. This generation was just hitting its stride group. So that was first place. Coming in at second at 39% was the current generation is too underpowered. Bring on the next gen consoles. And coming in at last at only 8% was I don't care. Y'all don't want that smoke with Google Yeti Group. So thanks to all the Lords who voted last week's poll. What do the Lords think about it? People are not ready for the next generation, it seems. What you guys got to think about that? Start with Addict. Addict, what you feel?
I mean, it's whatever. If they don't want it, then they don't have to buy it. Like
whatever. I love when he says that, but
if they don't want it, they don't have to buy it. They can sit here and play on the Xbox One like they played on the 360 for 8 years before the Xbox One came out.
No doubt. I'm surprised you would say that because you seem like resistant, like when the X came out a little bit, like you don't care about the 4K.
That's because it's not a next gen hardware. It's what we have now, just a little extra.
All right, there's a little extra, a little bump.
He said, "I don't want that bump. I'm gonna stay with the OG."
I don't want the bump, okay? Unless it's a new bump, I don't want old bump, just a little extra.
You don't want the bump.
Stay with the bump.
I'm trying to stay away from the bump.
Yeah, man. So, what's up? What you think, man?
I mean, listen. My thing is, whenever it does come out, it could be 2 years after the initial launch. If it drops, I'm getting it. So, like, I can play devil's advocate and say, whatever the proper thing to say, but I'm getting it regardless to when it comes out. So, if it's 2 years out, a year out, 5 years, whatever. But I think the base consoles have been out for 5 years now. That brings it back to the release cadence of before the 360 and PS3 era. Like we just got people got spoiled with that. We got to remember that 360 and PS3 lasted as long because of the economic situation in the country, where it was not viable for them to announce another $400 machine in 2000, 2008, 2009. So
can we agree that if this thing comes out next year, that mid-generation consoles are useless?
It's just gonna bring up. It's just gonna bring up.
It wasn't even mid-generation. It was like It was like 2 years before the system came out generation.
My X works very fine. I do apologize if you don't see the viability in it, but to me, it's very viable, brother.
If it comes out next year, that means they're trying to force feed us the 2-year, phone thing. And, for me, that's fine. It'll work. Maybe some people won't like that, but the fact of the matter is, useless. I don't think so. Not at all. Like I said, I love my X, but I think you gotta really convince people with these upgrades then, because you bring it out next year, that means 2021 you're bringing out the upgrade.
Gotcha. No doubt. Yeah, man. I mean, it's interesting. I think I kind of felt that way. I didn't know how the rest of the lords did, but
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm a hardware thought. Pause. So if it drops, I'm gonna pick it up. But do I want it? No, I didn't. My X hasn't been maxed out. So, bruh, until you show me games that shows me the potential of my system that I just spent $500 on, put that other stuff in the bushes, because I really don't care for it. I mean, show me the reason why I gotta abandon this hardware that you just sold me, telling me is the newest, greatest, that has all this technology inside of it that you ain't even used yet, and that you're gonna tell me, yo, the newest, hottest, latest is right. No, we're not gonna do no cell phone model on this situation. This is not gonna be a thing that I'm gonna embrace. I'm gonna buy it because I'm a fool. But I'm going to tell you what I like it. No, I won't.
But like on a serious note, they go a cell phone model. As much as I hate to say this, I'll go to PC gaming.
But this is the thing, though. If you think about it, though, right?
Like at the end of the day, if you're forced migration people every couple, like 2 to 3 years.
What about even with forward compatibility? That wouldn't
force migration.
Nah, I'd rather be on PC. That's the reason I have an Xbox. Like,
the crazy thing is that people are resistant to that, but these consoles are cheaper than a new phone. They are. Like,
that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Boss Move's coming at you, King. He says, "See if these water push the Xbox One X to its limit."
Oh, wow.
No.
Apparently, State of Decay pushed the X to its limit. So,
your digital tag and Floyd Spencer selling wooden nickels out here. Yo, they going in right now. So.
It's like I said, man.
Let me hold on. That one's gonna get addressed right there. That's gonna get addressed. You gonna stop. You're gonna stop going that Phil right there. You're gonna slow that right there down. I will get you struck inside that chat. You will get you struck. Damn. One more word out of him about filling that chat. You're gonna have to strike that man. You're gonna have to put him on timeout. You're gonna have to have a seat. You're gonna have to have a seat.
Look, at the end of the great name.
That's not gonna happen.
At the end of the day, I feel like mid-generation consoles are worthless because they can't take advantage of that mid-generation console, because by the time they they're already on the next-gen consoles. So, like, it's just...
No, but you know what? Who's taking advantage of their system? That PlayStation is, though. Let's keep it 100, though. Let's keep it 100, though. Like, that God of War is God of War, for real. Like, you know that, like, listen, they bring out The Last of Us. That Ghost of Tsushima, they just told me, and I really thought it was next-gen hardware. They just said, nah, that's that PlayStation Pro that you purchased is right there. You're going to get it. It's going to be checkerboard, but what you see here is what you get. So you're telling me that, okay, you're going to bring out the PlayStation 5, you'll talk about it, but these games that look graphically incredible, you're maxing out this system that I paid $400 for? Thank you, Sony. I appreciate it. Microsoft, follow their damn lead. All right, because you did not show me right now. Stop with the Forces. Stop telling me the Forza is the
you don't want the Big Mac large fries in the
No, I care about the Big Mac large fries in the shake.
He's just talking about Forza. He just means the Big Mac, not the small fries.
Yeah. But all right, I want y'all to really think about this. If Forza cars look like the cars like when you walked outside and saw them in the street, like if it really was photorealistic, Sony is pushing their system to the point that it's incredible, right? Microsoft is telling you that we have more power than this, but I don't see it. So when I see it, then I'm going to move. So right now, to be honest with you, I'm more inclined to buy a PlayStation 5 ahead of an Xbox because of the fact that they already maxed their joint out.
Yeah,
So let's go on
those
to the
devs,
next
man,
joint.
those engines and those devs, we got to give credit, man. They definitely really maximize. You see games like Detroit, you see games, you know what I'm saying, like God of War. It really looks good. Yo, Jonathan B, you got to stop. Checkerboard gang. Yo, you got to stop, Jonathan
Yeah,
B.
I don't care.
You
Well,
really
then
gotta
you need
stop.
Microsoft need to checkerboard their stuff too. Then you need to checkerboard that too.
So we got
I don't
Lord
care how
editors
you
in
do
it. He says the way Witcher 3, Wolfenstein 2, and more play on my X made it more than worth it. I'm fine with the mid generation upgrade, especially for Xbox since the base GPU was so weak. Salute Lord Editor in the building.
So a $500 purchase is worth 2 games. Gotcha.
No, it's more. We got more games than that, but you wouldn't realize the upgrade because you're not there. Like that's like me telling you how a Ferrari feels if you're driving a Pinto.
Okay,
You can't understand what I'm talking about because you're getting to the same place that I'm getting to.
How you going to tell me that when you were just raging about 30 seconds ago?
I got.
But I'm just
Addict on this one, because here's the thing though, like, because technically we were laughing at Addict for not upgrading, right? When during the X, we were like, oh,
right.
No, so now he kind of got the last laugh on us because technically
no, he don't got the last laugh because he's still falling through buildings in PUBG. No, he does not got the last laugh. Like so, when he flies in PUBG, he's still loading in last. He's still falling through buildings. No, no, he don't got the last laugh.
No, you mean to tell me that buildings are different on the X than the right there.
I'm telling you, it's a you problem. That's what he.
You mean to tell me the donut shop that's on the block it's just not there, but it's there on the X.
Yep.
All I'm saying,
I gotta see.
I know.
I got a question.
I got this video footage, and I saw it with Sinister. We were playing PUBG one time. Shout out to Lord Sinister. The buildings weren't even loaded in yet. It looked at like clay models on the screen, and I'm like, wow, there is a difference. Shout out to Lord Stinger. He said 4K buildings to fall through. Shout out to Stinger.
Let me, Addict. Do you have a 4K television?
No.
Then your system fits you.
Oh,
okay. Mine fits me.
Well, next
you understand? Like I actually
shit, so you can
no. It's not the same thing. Yours got a Vaseline screen, and mine is very crisp and clean.
Well,
so
you can take that crisp and clean because we all play the same shit next year.
Listen, there's no reason for you to upgrade to a PlayStation 5 or a new Xbox. They 4K.
Why you need to behind?
You know, he got to stay in this generation where it's not 4K, and it's okay. It's okay. But the 4K is really pushing 4K. They talk about 8K, and you ain't even get to 4K yet. Listen, I understand.
First off, I need to see.
I understand.
These documents that you've seen on the next X.
Go to Digital Foundry. Go to Digital Foundry. They got all the documents that you may need.
So they have videos up there of running games on the next generation hardware that haven't been announced.
So Addict,
let me tell you.
That's off.
So Addict, like,
hold on, I'm waiting for D to show me this link.
If the X,
it's called Digital Foundry. I see that you do not go there.
So if the X becomes the base console, right? Everything's forward compatible. Will you get the X and hold on to that for them? You think that? No, they're not leaving it. They're not leaving it behind. Like
no, they won't. They're not going to leave it behind, but they're not going to make it the base. They're not going to make it next generation. Because when you have the PS5 coming out and it's got a way better CPU, and they're pushing out games that have way more advanced shit when it comes to on the CPU side, then Xbox is lost.
Well, what I mean by base,
but then they're gonna leave the PlayStation 4. They're gonna leave the PlayStation 4 in the dust. This is what you're saying. So you believe that the PlayStation 5 is not gonna be backwardly compatible?
I guarantee you there's gonna be PS5 exclusives. I guarantee you that.
Now let me ask you this, Addict. Do you think that the so you don't think there's gonna be backward compatibility when PS5 drops? That just what you're betting on?
I don't think they're going to. Sony hasn't showed me one thing that they're doing shit like that. Not one thing. They've came out multiple times and said they don't need that. I mean, look, they're being the most anti-consumer this generation. They feel like they don't need it.
It's possible. So we got to see how this thing plays out.
And you got to look at it from the standpoint, like people be acting like they just started research and development these. They started doing that 2-3 years ago. back when they really didn't need it, and before even I would say if I would have put a number, I would say they probably started working on it around when the original Xbox, not the Xbox X, when that started. That's when they started the PS4, the PS5. Because if you want my honest opinion, I think the X was just a prototype of next generation.
Interesting.
Phil said they were talking. Was it Phil or was it Mikey Bar? It might have been this guy that left Albert Pernello, who said when the original Xbox One came out, they already had in mind what they wanted to do with the X, what they wanted the X to be.
Right.
Like whether they had specs down or not, no. But they knew that was coming. And they already knew they were doing the iterative thing.
Right. Go ahead, King.
Aaron, the reason why we talk about visuals so much is because visuals actually push the industry forward. Visuals is exactly what gives you that pop. Let me explain first, Addict, before you go into your whole tirade of playing these little indie craps.
Visuals do not push the industry. If anything, visuals are holding the industry back.
Okay, so visuals is holding the industry back. So visuals, I swear to God, if God of War would came out with a 2D bitmap, you wouldn't have purchased. But let me get to the point. What I'm talking about
because the immersion, because of the visuals.
Oh,
it's very in between. It's
rudimentary. It's rudimentary in his gameplay. You didn't talk yet. I didn't even speak yet to get my point across for you to even rebut anything. So you sitting here trying to rebut something I ain't even say yet. So you trying to put up a blocker. This ain't Fortnite. Stop trying to build a little building before I shoot my gun. Let me shoot my gun first. Let's see if you get shot. Let's see if you get shot. Because I think you're going to get shot.
Why would you shoot a gun on Fortnite if they didn't have a building?
This is what I'm talking about. This guy right here, he don't want the smoke, so he's trying to give you smoke screens. Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, visuals is what pushed the industry forward. Nobody we were talking about The Last of Us if it didn't look good. Nobody we talk about Ghost of Tsushima if it didn't look good. You don't know nothing about the gameplay. All you see is the visuals, and you're like, oh my God, this is the next level. So let's start that part right there. Gameplay comes when you get a chance to touch it, but what brings you in is the visuals. Right? So that's why we talk about visuals, Aaron. All right, that's my point. I was answering the chat's question before you jumped up with your whole "let me stop him now" crap. Stop it.
Go ahead, Addict. Let Addict get off.
All I have to say is there's been games that have been directed to look good, but sucked and have low Metacritic scores. Right now on Metacritic, Winter 1886, they made it to look phenomenal. Game sucked. Final Fantasy 15, game to make it look phenomenal. Game sucked. Rise made it to look phenomenal. Game sucked.
Easy.
games are being
no, but listen, Addict.
Right. And not play well.
I hear what you're saying. Yeah, and Solve, I see where you're going to. I mean, the thing is this, Addict, and you are correct.
Look at this.
You have to admit this, though, Addict. You have to admit what King is saying on one side, that the visuals of a game will at least draw you in more.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The problem is, that's what their priority is, to sell you a good-looking game that plays like shit.
Right, but the thing is that those games, especially like King said, to move the industry forward, if they're trying to sell you a brand new $500 piece of machinery,
they're gonna come out with indies.
So let me get this straight. They're gonna show me something phenomenal like Rise comes out, it gets like a 68, 62.
Doesn't matter. It
matters.
It didn't get a 68 before you saw it. I can tell you that there wasn't no 68 on that visual.
It doesn't matter because they look at the game as a whole entity, not visuals when the game comes out.
Correct.
No, let me explain something. They don't sell you gameplay when they're showing you a game.
Well, apparently
they don't. They're showing you the visuals. Right. So why are you acting like this is not true? Maybe you have a problem with the industry, but stop acting like.
Look at the features.
Okay, listen. I understand what you're saying. What you're saying is you don't want the industry to be based solely on visuals, and I feel you. All right, but it's very hard for you to get across gameplay in that point and click type of thing. People's attention span is very short. Yeah. So if it's not something that draws them in, you won't hold their attention.
I don't believe in that. I think it's easy to. It's hard to show frame rate.
I've seen you get up when we watching something and it don't look good. You're not about it.
Yeah, that's facts though. Because shout out to Gizzy, because I remember when ARC came out and you was like, "Oh, look how I look," and you was like, "You kept saying it looked like a slideshow. It looked like a slideshow." That was you.
At the end of the day,
you're talking out both sides of your mouth. You doing the Don King to us?
Let him finish. Let him finish, King. Let him finish.
I got you.
What other new features have we seen in games this whole generation?
No, I see. That's a different argument.
It's because people are building games to look good but not play good because they want to bring people in.
Listen, I will say, there's a priority in that. Yes, there's a priority in
like the only thing I could think of is the Nemesis system. That's all. That's literally all.
A different conversation. Now, if we want to talk about what has the current generation brought feature-wise, as far as innovation, you got an argument on that. We're just talking about when a game is made and it's presented, right? You have to admit, if something looks phenomenal at a press conference or a trailer preview, that's what kind of draws you in first. Then sometimes the other games, like an indie game or something else that may not have that kind of visual punch, you find out later, wow, the gameplay is really dope, and then the word spreads and then gets out first. But that type of game, the second game I mentioned, it's hard to compete with the first game that just looks phenomenal off rip. You kind of understand what I'm getting at with that? Because you're not wrong. I'm just talking about as far as what lures a game around, entices a game, or to kind of follow a game. You know what I mean? You get where I'm coming?
Yeah, I understand. It's just like I said, like I'm tired of games being. It's like I brought up Final Fantasy 15 earlier. Like it's like they spent the whole system, the entire budget on making the summons.
No, I feel you, and that's where you have an argument that some of these companies have lost their way as far as maybe an over focus on it, and I get that, and that's where maybe you have your frustration as generated. But damn, this topic went long. Shout out to Lord Aaron Summers, he got us going. He got us going. We got to get into these topics, man.
Let's do it.
And don't apologize, Lord Aaron Summers. That was fantastic, man. We love banter like that, so it's all good. Please chat, we love that, man. So we gonna get into these topics. So this one's gonna be a two-part topic. I'm gonna set this thing off here at the round table. Start with part one. So it seems that the MPD analyst, our great friend Matt Piscatella, is in the news again, Saul.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show, of course. And yeah, man. So it looks like he's got his predictions going out right now. And he, even though PlayStation 4 has maintained the #1 spot for MPD, basically this whole generation and all year, he claims the Switch is poised to take the #1 position by quarter4 of 2018. That he says not only
November, that chip is still out there if you want to eat it.
We could chip it right now, but y'all scared to put bend the knee. But MPD believes that Switch will not only knock PS4 off its throne for the quarter in the end, but it will be the best-selling console of the year. He quotes Pokemon Let's Go, Smash Brothers, and he said that besides the fourth quarter, he actually had a list of also his top 10 games. And what I thought was interesting about his forecast for 2018, out of the top 10, and I thought King and Addict might find this interesting, was that he had like Red Dead Redemption 1, Call of Duty, Battlefield, NBA 2K19, Far Cry 5, Madden 19, Fallout 76, he's got #7, God of War still 8 in the top 10, Monster Hunter World 9, and then he's rounding it out with top 10 with Marvel Spider-Man. So pretty solid list as far as, the top 10 sellers of 2018. But what I did find interesting, to the Lords, is that he didn't have actually any Switch titles in his top 10. So one, what do the Lords think about this? Do we think this forecast is accurate by Matt Piscatella, Lord Piscatella? And two, also about that top 10, of listing games for best-selling games of 2018. So let's start with Lord Addict. What do you feel about this, sir?
I think it's possible they can beat MPDs for the year. It's only America. I feel like that's where the bulk of the sales for the Switch is coming from right now, is America.
Yes. Wait. You can't discount Japan. No, Japan, they're killing in Japan. They're destroying. They're not even close.
Well, I didn't say all of the sales are coming from America.
Yeah, but Japan is the huge thing.
Both of them?
Yeah, and Splatoon is like #1 out there. Like, shout out to Lord Spawnway.
That lets you know what they know.
Yeah, like numbers up.
Look, at the end of the day, they might be, you know, do
You're not a
thing.
fan of Splatoon.
And for the most part, like, let's be real, all the games coming out is coming out on 2 platforms that chances are everyone that has a Switch has at least one of them, and or PC. Well, let's not tech PC because Red Dead's not coming out on PC.
Oh my god!
But
At the end, it's coming out later, right?
Like, it's not. I don't think it's been announced or anything.
It hasn't been announced. It's been hinted at.
I mean, it's coming out. It's just how long for people.
Yeah, shout out to Lord Sam. I understand your point, Lord Sam. He's saying that as far as the top selling games of the year, remember that Nintendo doesn't provide digital numbers, which is actually shows is more impressive than Nintendo. But where I disagree, Lord Sam, is that I still feel Pokemon will be on that list. So I felt he was being very like conservative.
Pokemon's coming out in November, and Pokemon's always about a year out thing.
It's a wireframe on the switches in the bush.
I think it's going to sell well, but it's not going to be the first month. It might push out. I mean, you got to think it's going to push out like maybe I would say 3 to 4 million in the first month. Right. But then you got Red Dead probably going to push 10 million the first month.
Right. All right. So do you think he was over conservative with the top 10 of 2018 games? Like, you feel that a Switch game will crack that top 10?
So here's the thing, that those 2 platforms are out. They've been out for longer than the Switch. A lot more people have those 2 platforms. Right. Well, when you drop Super Smash Brothers and Pokemon within a month of each other, that is a reason to buy a Switch, and you're going to have flocks of people buying the Switch and buying that. And the reason that they're not going to be on the top 10 of the most selling games is because there's already 70 plus million PS4s that you can just go out and buy the game for. There's already 40 million plus. Yes, I said 40 million. You got to get over yourself. 40 million plus Xbox Ones that you could just go out and buy. The Switch, not so much, because they're gonna have to buy it to get it, and it's not been out.
Okay, I see where you're going with it. LordSov, what do you feel about this, man? The Switch, will the Switch be the best in 2018?
Yeah, I absolutely think they have the ability to do that. I mean, Addict hit the nail on the head, really. They've been, Switch is what, a year, not even a year and a half old yet.
But I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't win too.
I mean, and you mentioned something last week, Addict, about how you think there would probably be a Red Dead bundle for PlayStation 4 or something like that. So that's going to move. It's going to move PlayStation units. My thinking on that sort of stuff is like what you said. This, 80 million PlayStations out there, 40 million Xboxes. Most people have those consoles already. So I don't see consoles moving per se.
The thing is,
big games.
PlayStation's been winning the whole year, so it's going to have to drastically sell the last couple months to the equivalent of losing 6-7 MPDs.
But I think, to me, it's like you said, people more than for a PlayStation, more than for an Xbox, people buy Nintendo consoles for those Nintendo properties.
But if you look at it from the perspective of last year on the holiday sales, that whole November and December, it wasn't even that drastic of a difference between the sales.
Right, they were all close. They're pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close. If we get a similar thing like that, there's no way they beat PlayStation. They might beat Xbox. There's a good chance they'll beat Xbox, but I don't see them beating PlayStation. So
let me ask you this, Lord Addict. What about, again, with Lord Piscatella talking about the power of the 2 Pokemon games, and you yourself said that Smash Brothers is a last ILP. You said that's a system seller.
It's a system seller, but it's like I said, they would have to dramatically sell that, because PlayStation's going to go off the shelves too. They're having that discounted bundle. They're having the Slim on discounted. They're going to have that Red Dead bundle. Right. People are going to pick them up in droves. I would say, for them to win MPDs from losing half the year, they would have to push at least 600 to 1.5 million more than the rest.
So now you sound like you don't think they're going to be the best.
I said that I could see them doing it, but I can also see them not doing it.
All right, so pretty much you feel it like it's close. Okay, yeah, I got you. Guys, off.
Fastback in the chat said this: they didn't win last year during the holidays with Mario, which is true. Nope. But I'll tell you this: there's something about there's an accessibility to Smash. And there's an accessibility to Pokemon that Mario doesn't have.
Look, let's just be real. The honeymoon phase for Zelda's over, okay?
But even then, people love Zelda, but Zelda is sort of considered like a hardcore game. It's not like your average kid who goes to Nintendo is not being like, I want
your
Zelda.
average kid right now is playing Fortnite on their mobile phone.
Yeah, facts. He's right though. He's right.
No, you're absolutely right. But what I'm saying is that Zelda is a system seller for guys like us.
True.
Not necessarily the youth that they're aiming at with Pokemon and even Smash at the end of the year. I mean, it's different. To me, that Pokemon is
I think they have a better chance of winning with Pokemon than Smash.
I think so too. I think Pokemon is the one. But I'm sorry. It did. Lord King. I'm sorry, LordSov, you good? Because Lord King
is he over there dying? Do we need
he's
an ambulance over there?
He's ready. He's ready.
Get an ambulance. Get an ambulance, because your hopes and your dreams is dead.
He's choking on that one chip.
Just like I told you before. I'm telling you right now. Just like I told you before. Whenever y'all want to do this little chip and bet the chip,
we can bet it now for them not winning the match. Keep dodging that. Let's get to now. Let's get to now. Let's get to now.
If you confident,
let's get to now that Switch will not win any MVP. And they're the
I said November, December. I said November, December. Okay. So I said November, December.
No. Make a bet who wins the whole year.
Bend the knee. Start right now.
You said make a bet who wins the whole year? PlayStation already won. They already won most of the year anyway.
Yeah, I'm
just right there. That's
so it doesn't make any sense. I wouldn't do no bet for like that. That's a rule.
So let's move on. Y'all scared to bend the knee. Let's move on.
All right. See, I know you changed the narrative and you're moving the goal. I hear
whatever.
But listen, I'm gonna. I want to just say this. I want to say, I like Matt Piscatella. I do find him a friend of the realm, but this is clickbait. All right. None of your titles. You had none of those titles up inside. You had none of those titles up in your top 10. All right. So then in your heart that it wasn't gonna win anyway.
But
so you hoping and praying.
Hold on, King. Hold on. Shout out to Lord Sam. That remember, Nintendo, they don't count their digital numbers. So that's a
don't count digital numbers. If
that's
don't count
Sony and Nintendo, Sony and
Xbox
are counting their numbers. That means Zelda, Mario on MPD are winning without their digital numbers. We can't get into hyperbole now. I gotta give it up now. I've been letting y'all rock for a while.
What I'm saying is, listen, y'all made your point, right?
I didn't make my point yet.
Y'all sat there. Yeah, well, these two made their point.
Correct.
Right? So you got one guy that's saying no, then he's saying, but I can see it though. You got another guy that the pie in the sky guy that believes, it can happen. I'm telling you, it ain't gonna happen.
Facts.
All right. I don't care about what they sell. I don't care what they're trying to do. I don't care what is happening with them. That Smash Brothers ain't gonna make it happen, and that Pokemon ain't gonna make it happen.
It's not gonna happen. But you won't bend the knee with it. I'm confused.
No, that's what because what he's saying is,
all this is not gonna happen. But
you know what? All right, fine. Listen. I take that bet.
Let's go.
I take your bet. I take your bet.
Let's go.
I take your bet.
Thank you. All right. That's
so now that your bet is taken, this is letting you know that I believe Matt was clickbaiting. Anyway, back to what I was saying. I don't feel that way because I know that these the Xbox and the PlayStation Black Friday and the Christmas sales is gonna happen. When the Christmas sales, because they poison themselves to jump over to the next ship. Actually, they're in a battle. And both their ships got holes in it and they're sinking. So what they're trying to do is just offload stuff. Right? So you're going to start getting discounted systems, original OG Xbox, cheap, S is cheap, original PlayStation's cheap.
Well, the original Xbox isn't in production anymore.
Yeah, well, it's not. So you can get it for basically free. So these things is going to start happening where it's going to make it hard for the Switch. So you say these people that didn't get a Switch yet, right? That want to Switch so bad. All right, so a couple of million here, a couple of million there. I do not think it's going to outpace the other two guys. So even if it's close, and even if they outsell them in software, I don't really believe they're going to outsell them in hardware for the simple fact that they are going to move. I believe Xbox will move a little bit more than PlayStation because there's more PlayStations out there. But I believe PlayStation, because it's in more regions and it has a foothold in bigger markets, it will keep its dominance all the way through for the rest of the year.
Okay, no, fair enough. I mean, you're making good points. I'm not knocking that. Get at it because then
the biggest thing. First, I just want to address the digital thing.
Yes, please.
I just Me personally, I just don't feel like a whole lot of people.
Oh, Addict's World. I hate this. Just because you don't do it doesn't mean the world doesn't do it. We gotta stop.
I just don't
stop the I'm not letting y'all rock tonight with this madness.
It's
No,
not the Addict
because
World. Like
you don't hit the eShop.
even Dizzy
does
said
not
in the
mean the
section.
world does not hit the eShop. That is that's false.
But I'm going from what we know.
What do we know? We don't have to. You are not counted.
Can I talk?
I'm not letting hyperbole rock this.
It's not hyperbole. You won't let me talk.
No, but I'm just letting you know that digital sales are not counted. You're trying to tell me.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I don't think it's like huge numbers or anything.
Why do you not think it's huge numbers?
Because you have to have with the Xbox and PS4. If you bought a game, you bought an Xbox or a PS4, you sat down, you hooked that up.
You didn't hook up the Switch.
You can at least get that game.
No one hooked their Switch up to the internet.
The majority of Switch games that you buy digital, you have to download onto
Fortnite is completely online. It's the #1 Switch game right now. Oh, but it's not. I mean, come on.
LordCognito, can I ask you a question? I want to ask you a question, right? If they're not counting the digital sales, right? Does it go up against the MPDs if they're not counting them?
It's not on the MPDs.
It's physical, dude.
So all right. So okay.
So physical.
This is what I'm saying, right? Because you're both right, right? You're both. I hear the argument, and being that MPDs is not being counted for this digital, and I believe the bulk of Switch sales is in digital.
That's what I'm saying.
What Addict is saying, it's a non-factor, because if it's not being counted, I don't care how much they're selling. When it comes to this argument about MPDs, they're a non-cipher. It doesn't matter.
Normally, when you
but the argument is also, you see, but PlayStation and Xbox do count digital sales. It's only Nintendo that don't count.
That's their problem.
No, hey, I get that. All I'm trying to say is it just shows how amazing what they're doing is.
It's not amazing to me.
I feel like
it's amazing.
Like me personally, but they're gimp compared. The sales numbers are gimp.
This is an unfair. They're still winning with one arm.
They willingly
one arm tied behind their back on the numbers being counted, and no one feels this is impressive. No one. This is nothing. This like come
on. You know what would be impressive to me? Go out there and shack it and just put your numbers up. Do that. Do your numbers. Put those numbers up though. When Microsoft wasn't putting their numbers up, they was getting ridiculed, right? Put your numbers up. That was good. Let's keep that same energy.
I'm jumping in. I'm dying over here. Dying. Good.
I mean, the lack of digital numbers on the eShop is probably attributed to the fact that the eShop is kind of a mess right now. Like
they probably can't even track the eShop.
I wouldn't disagree with you. I wouldn't disagree with you.
They probably say how much we sold this week. Oh.
No, they're waiting for that $20 a year. Then they'll let you know what they're selling.
Listen, like I said, I just disagree. I'm gonna jump. I just disagree with this whole nonsense that digital's not being counted. You know what I'm saying?
But you could reverse that if there's no actual. No tangible things that you could put your hand around to know the numbers.
Can we agree if there's no tangible thing? Can we agree that it's what's being tangible? There's more to add to it. Can we agree that?
We can agree that. I didn't say that.
We don't know how much it is being
I didn't say it was
it doesn't matter. If there's
I just said me personally with the downside
quantity, and then you add an unknown quantity, that is more than the known quantity.
Yeah, right. You're right.
But if they don't announce that won't be used to get in the NPDs.
It's not. Say that again. Repeat.
But he's right. He's right. It's a stalemate.
Ain't no stalemate.
Counting ghost numbers and we counting real numbers. Get your ghosts to line up. So get your ghosts to line up so we can count them.
Is Microsoft
but if
not counting their
line up
at all?
Right. So we don't.
I would be
100%.
I would be 100%.
They scared to put anything out.
That's the only ghost.
I would be 100% be like the Switch is doing massive numbers digitally if they had a better storage unit.
What does that?
But that's because a lot of people would have to go out and spend more money on an SD card to even download shit,
which is kind of low key mandatory based on the fact that the internal was so low. Let me get to my point.
Get to the next topic.
Well, if you have the physical cartridge, it's not mandatory.
I've lost it.
Well, I need to just say what I was gonna say.
Okay, continue.
Like, it's this Pokemon. Like, I don't know how most Pokemons do really well, but this is the one that I don't know what's gonna do because it's not your standard Pokemon game.
Right, that is correct.
Pokemon Go did really well, but a lot of people that played Pokemon Go, they took it for what it was.
Right.
I don't know if people are going to be down for bringing those features into their Pokemon game.
Okay. So that's going to affect their overall sales.
If Pokemon doesn't have a decline in sales because of that, between that and Super, they have a good chance of beating MPD.
I think that's not going to affect it that much because they know that the real one's coming. If they had no idea that
the casual don't. The casual's going to see that as the new Pokemon game.
True.
They're gonna look up Let's Go Pikachu, which is a whack name, but we won't get into that. And they're gonna look that up. They're gonna look at that trailer and be like, "That's some Pokemon Go." Which some will like that, some won't, because there's a lot of Pokemon people that played that 10 years ago that stopped playing it, that bought a Switch, and they're gonna look at that and be like, "That doesn't look like Pokemon."
He said, "I'm losing it right now."
I'm losing it. Right. I'm waiting for him to fix that. This man been talking. I can't get the point off, but when he's got all his points out, I'll be ready to go.
Now go.
Okay, I'm not gonna get interrupted this time. All right. So this is what I'm saying. Y'all drive me crazy. Here's the deal, and we gotta stop. And I hate this with hardcore gamers. We have to stop living in this bubble that what we feel and what we think is gospel, right? We have to think from the mindset of, you know what? There are casual people who don't have all this information and hey, they're just going to get a Pokemon game or hey, the new Smash Brothers is coming out or whatever. Now, in reference to Matt Piscatella's whole thing, you know what I'm saying? It could go either way. I'm with King, actually. I'm actually with Addict, excuse me, in that respect, that it could go in. This thing is going to be close.
Freudian slip.
Yeah, Freudian slip. I didn't want to say that. So, it could go either way. This thing is going to be close. And I agree with you, Addict. At the end of 2017, you know what I'm saying? It was very close. And PS4 definitely won the MPDs. The only thing we have to get away from is the eShop thing. And that part I'm not letting go. Because at the end of the day, that is a huge resource that is growing constantly. That is the #1 place for indies all over the place, regardless of the fact that the eShop is a mess, right? As far as the way things are organized and all that crap, you know what I'm saying? But as we know, this we do know, every indie developer, which for the most part, has said their titles sell more on the Switch than the PS4.
Well, I wasn't talking about the indies. I was referring to the games that's going to sell the console.
Bring this up to my overall point. I'm getting there. What I'm saying is, so we got that information from devs. They're telling us, yo, it sells more on the platform that has the lowest. I mean, the install base that's lower than these two giants. So that's the first point. Now, as far as the MPD and the whole numbers with the top 10 and what King is saying, I hear what you're saying. Well, Red Dead, what's the other one? Call of Duty. Those platforms are not on the Switch. King, you got a strong argument, right? Destiny, you got a strong argument. This thing is going to be close because at the end of the day, those are multi-plats. Those are huge multi-plats that are not on that platform.
I would say if the Switch, Xbox, and PS4 all came out in the same year, there's no way. But I feel like the Switch has a lot more ground to make.
Yeah, and trust me, I'm with you on that. The thing I think, though, at the end of the day, is when it comes down to you have the big ones, right? You got Pokemon. Regardless to, whether, people view it's going to be the kids' game, that name in itself carries tremendous weight. We've got Smash, which you yourself said, Addict, is a system seller. Those are the two that I see Matt Piscatella really riding on. And those two, I agree with him. You know what I mean? And I think he's being.
They're not in his top 10, though.
But remember, they're not counting digital sales. I think that's a factor. We can't say that's not a factor for two of the most hugest games on the platform. We can't ignore that.
I feel what you're saying, right? Mm-hmm. But the reason, and this is the only reason why I have to call bogus on his claims. Okay. And this is the only reason why. If you claim that, right? If you claim that you feel that they're going to win the end of the year and they're going to win the end of the year because of these two games,
right? That's exactly
games, right? Why they're not in your top 10? And I understand when he starts to break down the top 10, he put up is strong.
I think
Pokemon
should be in the top 10.
Right.
Yeah, I'm thinking, okay, if you're gonna make his argument, at least include one or two of them in the top 10 to push and fortify his argument.
Right. Listen, that's the only part of his forecast that I'm in agreement. I'm like, okay, let me see. I look at the digital aspect, I look at it not. Now, even so, in 2017, which was kind of the year of the Switch, we had games like Destiny win NPD. We've had games that were not on Switch win NPD, but still Switch won console NPD. That's the part y'all.
But I don't think
most solve has jumped on ILP is like, yeah.
I don't. But here's the thing I will say.
But the game was that. Remember, Solve?
Yeah.
Here's the thing I will say.
So we can't say that it's a direct correlation that because the game is in the top 10, that doesn't mean the console.
Here's the thing I will say. Like, I don't think you can really count the first year consoles out compared to consoles that's been out for years.
Okay,
because it's going to win just about every month.
But that's but you can also say it's unfair to the Switch that has come in late to the game with established consoles, and that's the other thing y'all not.
But we're talking about console sales, not software sales,
right? And it's coming to the game late. It dropped in what, March of 2017, didn't it?
I feel like last year
it's already behind the 8 ball by two dominant systems.
I think those two games are going to push console sales to the point where it could definitely supersede the sales at that moment for PlayStation. Now, what I'm saying, my thing is the proximity of these games to the end of the year doesn't give them a lot of time to get up there in sales. Like you're talking about.
I got a counter for that though, Soft. We also forget that some of your. This is one thing Xbox does well. They put a lot of their things, even though we get mad at them, they put a lot of their things in that third quarter / fourth quarter and generate the most revenue a lot of times. Because they're dropping it in that holiday season where they know everybody got money and everybody's coming out. You know what I'm saying? To go get something. That's all I'm saying. And here's the other thing that y'all not gonna like. The other forecast is that by quarter 2019, the Switch will have most likely have passed the Xbox One in overall console sales. Y'all can't ignore that. Like that is
my thing with that is
late. They started behind and y'all tortoise and they the hair and blowing past.
I mean,
I feel that.
I really
and I'm gonna keep the same energy I keep with the PlayStation guys. I'm gonna keep the same energy with the PlayStation guys.
That's the argument.
And I'm just don't care about sales because I don't play sales. Right. So that aspect is cool. But remember what I said, these guys is like they're on to the next. Like they're literally on to the next.
Right.
And Nintendo isn't. So their marketing power and stuff like that, their games, honestly, and I told you before, all these games you're getting is Wii U games. And when you're gonna start getting your Switch games, I believe at the end of this year, beginning of next year, the last game is Smash Brothers. That's the last Wii U game. And then everything after that, I will believe, will be pure Switch titles, and you're gonna start seeing that change where graphically they look better.
Right.
They have more implementation with the controllers, play better. Yeah.
Do you guys think the E3 might have hurt its sales for the holiday?
Well,
I think
definitely hurt the stock.
It was a three storm. It was a 3-wave storm. The Kraken switches, the too much on the Smash Brothers. I said it, and the fact that they didn't have enough of those big bang ticket item titles. Like they really just stayed on the Smash Brothers, talked about the Pikachu, and didn't have another like smash hit type of game, like an adventure game to go with the system. So I believe those 3 factors hurt it.
I think how do you explain the sales doubling in the week after E3 though? How do you explain that?
That's the thing.
There's a negative. It means
I can't explain them still surviving. Period. So if you're trying to ask me how the hell they working in these streets, I don't know how they working in these streets. When you putting out subpar games and these games is actually selling, I don't know how they doing it. So you're talking to me about
as gamers because we look at graphical fidelity, we look at all these things, and in our mind we're like, yo, I'm not getting a Switch for that, or this, that, and the hardcore is like laughing at this, like, how is this happening? But the sales keep reflecting, like you said, right? King is like, how is
casuals is out here buying it. So
Yeah.
listen, when I go upstairs and my kids is sitting there playing anything that on us, they play that Switch. If you see my Switch on, they're playing it. Okay, if they're playing Mario Kart, they're playing digital stuff. Listen, I don't really purchase anything. They're playing all these party games. They're looking for that Mario Party. So I don't care what nobody says. It's selling to the casuals. My kids, my son is hardcore, but my kids is casuals. So they will get anything for the Switch. The Switch is nice.
That us hardcore. Can we at least admit
man, we're the minority.
We're the minority. With that. It's like he
I never said that. I said me personally. I can't have a personal opinion. I get attacked for having a personal opinion.
You are the hardcore. And the hardcore is the vocal minority. That you don't understand.
I only speak for myself. I don't speak for Johnny.
But you got to look at things with a bigger perspective than just yourself.
But I only speak for myself. Why would I care about Johnny buying a Switch?
Because that affects the overall MPD numbers in this argument. That's what we talking about.
We're going on like theoretical numbers that don't exist.
The numbers is
all right, but Addict
is going to say they're going to pass in 2018.
Addict,
the numbers guy.
The fact that their point is valid in this. They switches are moving. And I don't really believe I believe the hardcore already brought with Zelda and everything. That bang that we had in the beginning where they sold like 10 million really quickly. I believe that was like the hardcore that was like on it. Everything after this, I believe there was people that was waiting for Switches to become available when they got a chance to get it, or they're going to pick up a game here, they're going to pick up a game there, and they want to get it for their kids or whatever the case may be. I believe that the casuals is pushing the market like they did with the Wii. All right. They have this casual market. If you don't want to believe it or not, they're dropping 30 indie titles a week. I've never heard of that.
And
ever.
And let's for the record, a lot of these indie titles are digitally only titles that are outselling PlayStation and Xbox,
digital
but no one's
physical.
Buying on the eShop.
When I was
digital numbers
can
don't
you
count.
let me talk?
I'm rebutting what King is talking about.
When I'm talking about physical and digital, I'm talking about the actual games you can buy physical at the store, not the digital games that's only released digital. Obviously, the only digital games you're going to sell.
Right, but at the end of the day, but you said that the eShop's really not that a factor. That it's an unknown. So come on, like you can't have it both ways. That's what I'm trying to say. Like you're not giving enough credit.
But here's the thing, like we can't talk about that because we don't know the numbers.
I just talked about numbers. That's digital only. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about physical games like Zelda. They're first-party games. That's what we're talking about.
No, we're talking about MPD, which is a combination.
The games in November that we're saying is going to sell the system
come out on both.
Can I talk?
Come out on both.
That's Super Smash Brothers and Pokemon. They are both. I'm referring to those two games.
Okay.
Do you think they're going to sell more physical or digital? What do you think if you were to put a percentage-wise on physical and a percentage-wise on digital with
we don't have
Pokemon?
The information. We don't have the information.
But that's my point. Why are you coming at me when you don't have the information?
Because I'm coming at you because you discount the digital at all.
I'm not discounting it. I'm just saying I don't think it's high.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, and then I'm showing you information that we have. So
how are you going to come at me?
I'm showing you information that we have. We do.
So where's the numbers?
I'm going to tell you. There's a bunch of. You want me to pull up every developer that's
indie developer that? Hold on, let me finish
now. You want me to pull up every indie developer because I could come up with a spreadsheet and send that to you that have said our titles.
I'm talking about the titles that sold the Switch.
Come out on the Switch and has outsold the Xbox and PlayStation counterpoint. I can give you spreadsheets. So let's try to act like
Zelda? Where's Mario Kart? I want those. The system sellers.
You see, now you're changing the argument again.
It's not argument. That's what it's always been about.
You're changing the narrative all the time. At the end of the day, Addict, you're changing the narrative.
I'm not talking.
You're changing. Yeah, please don't, because you're not making sense. At the end of the day, you're changing the narrative. We have to stop acting like just because it doesn't apply to us, because we don't like it, or we don't think. When we don't have that information, we have to stop making broad statements. That's all I'm saying.
You're just putting words in my mouth. I'm not talking
is
anymore.
a
You're
big
just putting words
part
in my
of
mouth.
sales that are not included in MPD.
You're just putting words in my mouth.
All I'm saying is MPD at the end of the day still doesn't count that, and that is a disadvantage to the Switch. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
And for them to do what they're doing and you not giving credit, to me, it's fraudulent. I'm gonna be.
It's whatever. You could call it fraudulent.
Is like they're the one-armed swordsman, and they out here killing people with one arm.
No,
this doesn't matter. Whatever you want.
I get the numbers. It doesn't matter.
The games that come out in November and December are game selling. It's like on the caliber of a Zelda.
But the
people are buying indie games because they're only digital. Obviously, I'm talking about the games that are physical. The games you go to the store and buy. Those are going to be physical. If I were to give a percentage, it would be 70-30.
See, I can't go.
But we all off topic. Let's go. Let's
get into it. At the end of the day, that's hyperbole. That's hyperbole.
I mean,
we don't. None of us don't have the numbers on digital. We don't have.
We're in muddy waters. We're in muddy waters. Let's get out of this water.
Moving
along. Let's wash off.
Moving along. The fun part of the topic would be what's going on with Switch crack-a-lacking. So it's been found out. Nintendo Life did an actual percentage. It looks like 20 of over 1,000, so about 20% have developed cracks in the plastic around the fan exhaust of the Switch. So what's going on? It looks like it's the exact same crack at the top part where the vents are, and looks like it might be a recurring issue with a couple of people saying 20% of the base. And a thing that's interesting about it is it's the same space, and not only is it in the same space, but Nintendo hasn't been actually cooperative. You know what I'm saying? And they've actually been saying almost like it's an accidental damage thing. And users in the UK, Nintendo guys in the UK are pretty much saying that it's over like 100 pounds, you know what I'm saying? Just to get this thing, fixed. So one, how crack-a-lacking is this issue? Do we think this is like a major issue? Do we think it's overblown? Or do we think we have almost like a red ring situation? So let's start with Lord Addict speaking to me. What do you feel about the crack in the Nintendo Switch issue?
A bunch of people can't take care of their shit and they blame Nintendo.
Fair enough. Do you think it might be just overblown because of the 20%, or do you think we might have like a Red Ring situation like 360?
Look, I've seen a Red Dead problem. You don't have it.
Shut up, man.
I've seen like 1 or 2 videos. If this was like drastic, I would be seeing the no covering it. I would be seeing random channels being popped this stuff up. It's a small percentage cracking.
No, it's not a small percentage. Actually, it's a huge percentage. Nintendo
but I haven't seen this being covered really at all.
Yeah. Because you can suppress a lot of information when you want somebody to win.
Look at something.
It's not stopping systems from playing. That's the problem. You see, if it was stopping systems from playing, it will be widespread. It will be popping up, but it's not.
But I've seen news that's smaller than this blow up.
Yeah, but it's not stopping you from gaming.
But I've seen news smaller than this, like that that anti-consumer thing that Sony did with banning the account. That blew up. And that was one person. You mean to tell me that 20% of Switches is blowing up and I don't see anything?
Listen, just like El Boogie said, it's a problem, but it's not big enough for a recall. You understand? It's not a situation where you cannot game. It's aesthetically
not big enough.
It's the screen is not cracking. It's the vents.
It's the vents on top
or at the bottom. That's it.
So
it's not an issue. I had to look at my system.
I'm looking at my
system. Are you cracking? I looked at my system.
Too. I don't have it.
I looked at the top. I said, are you cracking? He said, no, I'm not cracking at all because you don't use me. I said, I could. Cool. I got you. So the thing is, these people have heavy usage. They're outside. They're playing their system, and it's wear and tear. I believe it's wear and tear on the system. It's not anything
let me
to
ask you,
get
let me ask
concerned
you
about.
We live in a really social aspect. If there was 20% and these were crack, like I don't care how much of a little crack, people are going to be tweeting about that. They are. You just don't care about it.
Oh my God.
I just don't see this huge.
Yeah, no, go to Reddit. Reddit has it. I've seen it.
So
this was going to be my topic. This was going to be my topic until Cognito put up the topic, and I said, okay, well, you can shoehorn that into that topic. Yeah. That was going to be my topic.
But let me ask you
because
this,
it's a big enough issue. Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Kingdom, because a lot of this people saying like with the switch warping and the stuff like that. Because I have seen the switch warping where they've shown. We have two issues. We have switch warping and switch crapping. Where if you put your switch horizontally and you look at it, it's like uneven. And a lot of people are saying it's a heating issue. Shout out to my boy from Philip from the Nintendo voice chat. He actually like there's a heating issue that may be warping it. So it could be just something from the dock itself. And then we obviously heard about the scratching of the dock stuff.
But I feel like that would have happened like a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, again,
it's been out for over a year. Like you mean to tell me like. Now it's starting to bend. Like
I don't know. But I mean,
no. A lot of them been bending like soon. Like early on, I've heard about the warping. Mine didn't warp. I probably got a good batch. I didn't crack or warp or do anything weird. My joint is playing normally. I didn't have a problem with the desyncing of the controller. It was a lot of issues that they were talking about, but these weren't issues that are stopping you from gaming. The moment you stop somebody from doing its intended purpose, that's where a problem lies. There is no problem.
Like the vents cracking's a problem.
I don't think so, because you wouldn't notice. You wouldn't notice these little vents
cracking. Okay, like how do you overlook that?
It's minor. It's very small.
It's not minor. Your system is cracking.
You stupid.
Yo, you know what's funny is I don't know if you think there's huge vents in the back of your system. I don't know what you think it looks like. I think he stole his switch. I think he stole his switch anyway.
Let's give some visual context here. Let me show what
show a picture so these people can understand how minute this is. And this is not even an issue.
I'm sorry, but if you're just playing something and anything starts cracking, it's an issue.
It doesn't sound like it's cracking when you eating it. I mean, like cut it out. Like you acting like they're playing. It's like no, stop it. It's not doing that.
Oh my God!
It's not crackling pop systems.
Can y'all see it? Is it coming up?
No, I don't see nothing.
Whatever reason, Switch goes bucket out right now.
Yeah, nah. Everything.
I mean, it's like I said, if that's happening, it's an issue. It needs to be addressed. Like you can't purchase.
Did it happen to you? Because if it happened to you, then I'm pretty sure that you will be out here screaming from the top of your lungs. But it happened to Tommy that you don't care about.
You shouldn't buy a product and I'm sorry, you shouldn't buy a product and it starts warping like that. That's not acceptable.
You shouldn't buy a product and you catch the red ring of death, or you catch the yellow ring of death. But stuff happens.
But when you did that,
can y'all see it now? Can y'all see it now?
No, you saw that. You saw how small that was.
The crack, like if you look at the what is it? From the right, from the right hand side. First from the right, those top vents. Those you see those small cracks at the very top. Do you see? You see what I'm talking about?
Is it stopping you from gaming?
Look, man, I'm just saying nothing should crack just from.
What type of anal retentive individual that has disorder that actually bothers them? That little crack. Who is that bothering?
What happens?
I want to know who found that crack to make this an issue.
What happens if your ex started cracking like that in little areas?
My ex don't got those little. I wouldn't know. I don't pick my ex up to run around. Yo, listen. Literally, my ex can fall apart right now. I wouldn't know unless I go to play it and it don't work. Okay. All right, because I don't move my ex. Like I'm like a lot of people. I put my systems there and they stay there. You know who's doing this rapid moving with their system?
Needs to be fixed.
Listen, I do think it's a minor issue. I agree with King that it's listen, unless it's stopping me from playing, if it's stopping me from playing, I'm gonna have a big problem. Now, I am sort of anal retentive in that respect. Like I like
I know you, son. You don't like stuff like that.
Pristine.
How that
shit like stuff like that?
That's OCD issues. That's medication. If you got a problem with that, you need medication. That is not an issue.
Hey, listen,
it's not even crack.
Back to my
you realize something like that.
Not supposed to look that way.
Look, at the end of the day, like it shouldn't happen. That you can't deny that. It shouldn't happen.
Listen, let me jump real more because we will switch.
That's ridiculous.
Switch always brings the best out of ILP.
That's childish. That's childish.
Hold up? How is King defending Nintendo? I don't get that.
Because I'm not defending Nintendo. I'm defending the fact that I don't know what person saw that hairline crack and said, "Oh my God, this cannot stand." Like, what is going on with you? Like, I wouldn't know. Yo, listen, the whole back of my system could be off right now. I would not know. Okay? How the hell did he find out that he had a hairline fracture? Did he X-ray his system? What is going on? This is ridiculous.
Let your 4K TV start heating up the back and crack and see it.
You gotta stop saying cracking up.
Yo, you know what it is? He think, you know what? Because he don't got a switch, so he think it's actually making an audible sound.
Saying I don't.
You gotta switch. Listen, no, but it's funny when
he think it makes an audible sound, like. Like
not the fact that it makes the sound.
What's making that sound?
It's not the fact that it makes a sound. I feel like any product breaks down by itself like that, regardless how minor it is, it needs to be fixed. I'm not.
You gonna take your Switch to the store for that?
I'm not saying my Switch. If my Switch did that, I'm not saying my Switch. If my Switch,
okay, no. I'm gonna ask you. If your Switch got that hairline fracture right now, if you look at it right now, and it got that hairline fracture, are you taking it back?
Addict is done. He's not talking.
Yeah, he don't want to say that. Hell no, I ain't taking it back because ain't stopping.
You being anti-consumer is hell right. Oh, it's okay. It's starting to break down. It's
if you brought that to my store,
but if you did find out that your Switch had that, right?
I wouldn't care right now.
But now to Addict's point, though,
that's fine.
I would charge you $100 to fix your crack.
Now let me
just to show you don't bring your crack back in here.
Hypothetical. Let's just say you're cleaning around the house and you move the Xbox One X and then you turn it around and you saw the hairline crack in next to the ports in the back. Would you take it back at that point?
Clearly, he's gonna do, but he ain't telling anybody.
No, listen. I'm gonna keep on
do that low shit.
When I got my red ring of death,
King is not recording.
I need to chat the hashtag hairline fracture.
Listen, when I got my red ring of death, my system went back. If it's preventing me from gaming, when my controllers messed up my elites, took them right back.
You mean to tell me that my warranty can break if I take that apart, but that own thing is taken apart? Like, come on, man.
If you brought that Switch to my store with that hairline fracture, I'm gonna charge you $100. I'm gonna give you a brand new Switch. I'm gonna charge you $100. I'm gonna charge you the idiot tax for bringing this little hairline fracture in. You brought the hairline fracture. I want money for you wasting my time.
It is a defect, though. We gotta.
Oh well. Okay, it ain't stopping their sales. It still got you thinking they gonna win MPD. So I suggest that
you don't think it's a tad bit anti-consumer to not want to fix it by Nintendo not wanting to deal with it.
Yo, listen, you just told me Nintendo is fixing.
No, but
listen, you said Nintendo is fixing it.
No, they charge. Yeah, telling you that it's an accident. That's your problem. That's your problem.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Here's the only thing I agree with Addict and the people is that everyone's got the crack in the same spot.
Yep.
That's the thing. Like, if you got person got this
I think everybody's doing the same thing. They probably pushing they switch too hard.
It starts doing that. It makes the entire system itself like a little bit less sturdy. Like, would it be easier to break at that point? Like, I don't know, how severe that would be.
Look, we got to move on.
We have to find out, though. We have to find out. We have to find out if they break you. But I can tell you this: I'm all for Nintendo charging them $100 for the idiot tax.
Oh my God! King has spoken.
It's the first time Nintendo has been proactive.
Last time I checked, your system not breaking down by itself isn't an us problem. Okay?
I got him, Roman. You hilarious, but I got him.
Nah, get that money. Get that money, Nintendo.
We have beaten Switch to death this year. Like I said, Switch always brings out the best of the ILP. We are moving on because man, we spent that long on that topic. All right, Lord Addict. cross progression, man. What's going on? What's your topic?
Part of me we want to talk about crossplay and go back to this.
Because we gonna go back to
I will go ahead and let you live, King. I'll do that.
But it's an important topic. It's an important topic. Plus, we got
this cross progression. We got a lot of different things. I hate to bring it up, I really do, but I feel like this is one thing that's not going away. People aren't talking about it, and I just want originally I was going to come at this with what's the future with cross progression. But now I still want to cover that, but I want to really go into what do you guys think the gaming industry would be like with cross progression?
That's a good one. Let me jump. All right. I actually thought a lot about this topic that you brought. First, a fantastic topic, and kind of just thinking about the future in general. And I want to shout out my guy Mikey Barra. You know what I'm saying? Huge friend to the podcast in the realm. Always great to see him. And yeah, man, I think he put a tweet out, and I think this was last week, and he basically said he really wants cross progression on all games. He says, I play on PC and Xbox so much, which all games supported this. The people I play with do the same. We constantly debate to play new games together on PC and Xbox. Just shouldn't need to be a discussion. Let's make it happen. So I thought that was a very powerful tweet, and I thought that it is true. Shout out to Jay Fonz and these guys too. There's people I know that have, Destiny. They play Destiny on every platform. You know what I'm saying? And it just sucks when he comes over, he's lost maybe exotics and things that he hasn't, gotten. And I'll be honest, y'all know I don't really rock a fork. I'm more of a PUBG guy, but of course the Switch made it enticing and it's free. So I said, I downloaded it and I tested it just to see, me play a game, unlock something, get something on the Switch. And then to go home, turn on the Xbox, right?
And it works naturally.
And it's like, yo, this is like the future. Yeah, and the last thing, I'll let you jump right back in. The last thing was just that, I'm not talking about cross play. I think there's a difference. Cross progression, with that account to that game is yours and then goes anywhere, regardless of platform. I love it. I don't know how the financials work. You know what I mean? As far as I would love to get Piscatella's input on something like this. And as far as from a negative standpoint, does it promote engagement? Remember when crossplay, what's that? Game Pass. When Game Pass came out, right? Everyone was worried. Remember, Sov? Everybody was like, oh, Xbox is putting their games on this thing. They're gonna lose sales. You know what I'm saying? But at the end, hashtag King wrong, you stupid. But at the end of the day, it's one of them things that it has been proven. You know what I'm saying? We've seen Sea of Thieves, we've seen State of the Case, regardless of how people feel about those games, they are top of MPD and stuff like that. So the Game Pass didn't affect it. It just created more engagement. I would love to see something like this. Shout out to the chat, DJ Singh. I play Warframe on Xbox. I would love to play also with my friends on PS4, the same account. You know what I'm saying? At the very least, y'all, if we don't get cross-play, I would love cross-progression next gen. I'm just curious if it hurts any of the developers, third parties, or if it hurts the console makers, as to why they don't want to do it. But it looks like it's going in this direction. What do the rest of you guys think about it?
I think people that say that this isn't a thing, so it shouldn't be, are some of the most iconic idiots I've ever seen in my whole life. Because something isn't a thing, it shouldn't be done. You know how many things you could put that into actual history of other industries? Stuff changes. The landscape of everything changes. To this year, cross progression, cross play not be a thing. In 3 years, it could be a universal thing that's required. I
think it would sell more.
I think everything would sell more. I would buy another copy of Destiny if I had to start over on Destiny.
Right. I think that would sell more if I was able to jump on Destiny and just, my progression is over there. I think in this generation with what's going on right now, first of all, I don't believe Sony has the infrastructure. That's one. All right. So I believe it's an infrastructure thing that you might say that.
No, they said that it's like a flick of a button thing. They said it's anytime they can do cross progression.
I don't believe Sony wants it. I really honestly don't believe that when you're in a position of winning, if this was last generation and this topic came up, I believe Sony would have probably been for it. That's my opinion if they were losing. right? But the fact that you're winning by such a large margin, it gives you a hubris that you feel like you don't have to do a lot of things you don't want to do. So I really don't believe that if they say that they have exclusive games on their system, why should we help them? Because they know that if I can take my character and play over there after I did the hard work here, they can buy a copy on Xbox. So I think they feel that it will probably help out Xbox in a sense, or help out Switch in a sense, to gain more users and more NPD numbers. And they said no.
To be honest with you, I think that, you know, I'm probably wrong, but I think that Microsoft is using cross progression as a doorway to cross play, because they want to start marketing next gen to, you don't have to, you can play with your friends anywhere. I definitely feel I think they're trying to take that, they're trying to make moves now so they can do something in the future with it. And you know, that's true. They geniuses, because they're using the biggest game in the industry to push their agenda.
Yeah, we all know, you know, it's services and stuff like that, and I definitely get that. Soft, do me a favor, just put the code back in the chat, because I couldn't find it.
I closed it out, so hold on, I gotta.
yeah, when you get time, because I couldn't find it.
It's in there. It's just gotta scroll back.
Let's get those likes up, guys.
Facts, yo. We out here fighting on the blood in the street for y'all.
You got King over here looking like a fool about this cracking thing. You need to like the video.
Listen, let me tell you something. You can say whatever you want to say about that cracking. All right, when it starts keeping gamers from doing the intended purpose of the system, that's when it's going to become an issue. If these people with OCD have a problem with a hairline fracture in their system, then charge them the $100. It's fine.
Shout out to JD Gaming. He's saying the hardcore author forgets that we are not the first customer of the platform. Holders, the devs are, and because the devs want it and it benefits them, they will go there. So he's saying his argument is that it's dev beneficial, but maybe not necessarily, you know, hardware platform beneficial.
Oh, that's most definitely. But the devs can put it in a way that consumers can.
Right, and it's going to be curious.
All it takes is one game doing well, and the sales of that game dramatically increases because of it. And then devs are going to be like, "Yo, we need this. Like, this isn't debatable. This is happening."
That's what Lord JD Gamer saying. He's also saying they'll go there benefit the most. The desert will benefit the most. And next gen, when the clock of the sales resets, Sony had better get on board or get left behind. Saul, was that you talking?
Yeah.
Saul, you saying code is out again, and we ain't seen it. It's blank.
It comes up blank.
Yeah, it's blank.
On mine, I see the code. Like,
we don't see no codes. Just put it up.
Just write it. You got to write it physical. Put it. You want me to put it on the screen?
I guess. Yeah. Let me just write it. Okay. Let me just actually write it.
Yeah, just write it.
Copying and pasting, and I guess it's not coming up.
Put it in the chat. Let me see if I can put it in. I don't know. Maybe it's something you.
Yo, they bad. Like, well, I'm free.
Listen, the numbers on the views went up. The views went up. You said code. It's like somebody tweeted out to somebody, the code is out. The views went up.
Native, if you call me a flat earther one more time, you might get banned.
Get him, Native. Get him.
Call him a flat earther.
Oh my God.
You believe that the Earth is round, Native?
No.
What part of the Earth are you on? You on the top or you on the bottom? Where you at with this? How does the water work? How does the water work?
From third eye stuff. And
you're a round earther. You're a round earther. You believe the Earth is round, lunatic.
Oh my God. Anyway, get this off. You want me to jump in, or why you find a thing?
Yeah. I mean, hold on, but I mean, my
he
opinion.
Said Lord Fraud.
Hold on. 9BQ.
All right, he's putting it in. Let him let Soft work. But yeah, and then we'll get his opinion to close it out. But yeah, man, I mean, I think it's the future. I really do. I hope at the end of the day, like, they definitely subscribe to it. All right, let's see.
Just put it in the Google Hangout chat.
Put it in the Hangout chat, man. We'll do it, and then let's let our ad do it.
Boss moves. Congratulations. Thank you.
Okay, boss moves.
Trial.
That's solid.
He said, yo, it only showed up on Boss Moves 3.
He's like, thanks.
Ain't no code. He said he redeemed it.
I see the quote. He's the only one who saw it.
Yo, they gonna accuse the Lords of being rigging stuff.
Yo, he's shopping right now. He's shopping right now.
Yo, I don't think.
Are we sure that he ain't trolling?
Nah,
because,
bro,
like,
Boss Moves is a king troll. Yo, do not.
Yeah, don't.
Yo, I didn't see it at all.
It ain't an extra 20 seconds. That's all he did with that.
They said we rigging it and we gave Boss Moves a DM.
yo, if you look, the views went down when Boss Moves said he got it.
Now put it please in the Addict. Put it, take it.
Why don't you just have the screen up and turn your camera on so they can just see it already?
No, because I just got it digitally.
Give it to him.
Just go ahead and put it in the
Google chat. Put it in the Hangout chat, man. And
it's too late now.
Nobody got it.
Trolling.
Nobody got it.
He's laughing. He didn't get it. Yeah, he didn't get it. He messing with you, man.
Yo, that's crazy. I typed
If
it
no
out.
one's seeing it, there's no way. Like Move, unless Move is like unless he's like a hacker or something. And he's
I
like,
love the way he said, "Got it." I'm done.
All right, now it's in the Google Hangouts chat.
It's in the Hangouts chat.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. This is
He
hilarious.
said, "I seen the code."
We getting frauded out here, son. We getting killed out here. They killing us.
There it is.
Okay.
There it is. It's up
There
now.
it is.
Hurry up. Let's see how
Hurry up,
the
go get it.
Hey, do me a favor, Soft. Just type something in the chat.
Yeah, type them. No, he's been typing before.
I've been typing.
I don't-
Just type
You know
anything
what
in
it-
the chat real quick. Just type
I've-
anything in the
I've
chat.
seen what it is before. Is that
Is
the
he a
copy
mod?
paste?
Is he
It's
a
a copy
moderator?
paste issue.
It's a copy paste thing. Yeah.
Are you a moderator?
He might not be.
You have to be a mod to put
Yeah,
numbers
that's
like
probably
that.
what it is. Yeah, we got mixed up.
Okay.
I got you. So
He
that's
said
my
it's
bad.
missing a digit. El Boogie said it's
Yeah.
missing a digit. You're fraud.
Missing a digit.
Oh,
Nah, it ain't missing it. It look good.
It is missing one.
Oh my god.
How the
We
hell is it
terrible
missing a
right
digit?
now.
Stop
On
it
Patreon.
out.
I ain't
Give me
fake.
bad
That's what's
codes.
up today.
What the hell? I got this from Microsoft. So
No. I have it. Just keep talking. I don't want to put it like right now. I'm gonna wait a couple minutes.
Oh, he holding the code hostage.
Look, I'm not having a bunch of people got that copy and paste.
Yo, Native said trash, unfollowing, unsubbing. Yo, this is the funniest giveaway we've ever done. I swear to God. So Saab, real quick, let's finish up cross progression. What was your feel?
I've been saying this forever, man. Like it needs to happen, especially. And I knew the best chance we had for it this gen was Microsoft and Switch. Playing nice with each other.
Mhm.
I agree with these guys. I don't think I think PlayStation needs to address this moving forward. I don't know.
It's not going
they
away.
will. I don't. It's not going to go away, right? But I listen. The statement that they made after saying how they were going to deal with the Fortnite fiasco was, "We're going to come up with a solution, and you're going to like it." And that was basically what they said. Like, so my thing is, they're not moving an inch on. They don't want to give Xbox any sort of what they perceive to be as help. And when it comes to the cross progression thing, you're opening the door for them to be for somebody to say, you know what, I'd rather purchase this on this other system. And if I can play it on the PlayStation, that's great. They don't want that. They want to continue to close garden. At least that's what they're saying. So again, moving forward, yeah, I think it's Xbox and Play and Switch, especially if Switch continues to be a different type of console, right?
Right.
Continues to be something portable, then there's no fear from Xbox or even PlayStation that there's going to be that they're gonna be holding down a different part of the market, right? You're gonna be able to take it with you, whereas we don't have that option. So there's not that fear the Switch is gonna override you. But Xbox to PlayStation and PlayStation Xbox, that's gonna be that's an uphill battle. That's an uphill battle. I know Microsoft wants to do it, no problem. Sony, nah, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if this becomes the new model of the future.
It's gonna be interesting to see how they respond to the Fortnite thing. Because after they said that, I said, what do you mean? You're basically saying we're going to address it. And whatever we come up with, we trust that you'll be fine with it. And that's that. Like
Sony is going to be the only ones left behind in the next generation when it comes to that. Microsoft already laid their plans flat out to you. They told you they wanted you to game everywhere, cell phones, tablets, anywhere. So when it comes to that whole idea, they don't care if you're playing on a Switch as long as the engagement is high, because they know that you purchased the game over here, you're going to play it over here, then you go over there, you play it over there. But Sony's idea of it is archaic in a way that they're like hoarding their stuff, and it's not going to work out for them. But like Lord Addict says, he doesn't believe that they're going to be backwardly compatible anyway. I don't believe so either. They have never shown anything indicative.
Slow-mo correctors.
Forward compatible, forward thinking as far as being able to use your old library into the new library as well. They've never done that as far as, doing it without having a program as far as like PlayStation Now and you buying your game over again type of thing. So they're not consumer friendly when it comes to that. I don't believe that they will be consumer friendly. I believe that the next system will be a closed ecosystem, and it will push the generation forward because it will be able to focus heavily on the CPUs and the stuff that's in the system. So do they care about cross progression? No. Is it on their agenda? No. Is cross platform playing on their agenda? No. They believe, and they're in their own bubble, and they will stay that way. I believe so. I believe they will be left behind because of that philosophy.
It's gonna be interesting. So that's what we got on cross progression. Great topic, Lord Addict. Lord King, inside Xbox and PUBG. What's going on?
Well, first, inside Xbox didn't have no PUBG. That's what.
Well, just inside Xbox in general, if you caught it.
Yeah. Well.
All right, so PUBG it is.
PUBG it is for you.
He doesn't like the fact that you finagled his whole thing around.
Yo, you know what he did? He told me, yo, PUBG
he told me to go
inside
crack-a-lacking switches in mine. So
he set me up. He told me that PUBG was inside Xbox. I don't watch it. I don't watch that. I don't like any of the people that's on it. I think it's contrived and disgusting. I would rather watch a Nintendo Direct. I will watch that Smash Brother Direct over and over again. I do not care about that. Anyway, but I did watch it from beginning to end looking for PUBG. Was none to be found. All right. So let's get to the PUBG information that I'm going to talk about. And then y'all can talk about that Direct crap. So PUBG on the public test servers, they had launched a big patch. It was 11 gigs, and it brought it closer to the PC. So right now, if you're playing on an X, you're getting the 4K experience at 30 frames per second, and also a lot of the overlays and a lot of the changes that they did to the weapons, the grenades, the vehicles. So everything is getting closer to that PC launch. And how I see it is, I think they're closing everything up, bottling everything up, so they can get purchased by Microsoft. And if anybody got a chance to play on the public test service, because it goes live after the 16th, so it's from the 10th to the 16th that they get a chance to play on the test service to see these new implementations into the system. And has the numbers dwindled? I believe so. The engagement numbers is lower, but I think that everybody's just gearing up for the actual physical launch of the game, opposed to being in this PlayStation preview. So my question was, is it affecting at this long gestation period of the system of the game? Is it affecting them being that it's out on PC? Will the sales be lower when it actually really releases in the Xbox?
All right, what do you feel about that?
Sorry, I was doing something. What?
That's
some family personal stuff.
That's good. I mean, pretty much you talk about the latest updates to PUBG, and as far as your whole thing is in reference to the PC as well, King, or just the Xbox?
Yes, the fact that it's being closer to the PC version, and
it's pretty much going the direction Minecraft is.
Right,
they're pretty close.
So
Lord Sob, did you see any of the information on what you call it, PUBG at all, as far as any of the updates?
Yeah, I mean, to me, to King's point, to his question,
Mhm.
honestly, I think sales are not. I don't think. I'm not gonna see scales. Excuse me, sales
Sales.
skyrocket or go up. Yeah, scales skyrocket. Just because I think the game, it's from where the game is right now to 1.0. I don't think it's gonna be such a huge leap that at this point, if you want to play that game, you're gonna feel bad about paying that money to play that game now. Maybe when the game launched. But you've seen the amount of updates the game has gotten since launch. Like they've
Right.
been on top of updating that game, and we already knew it was going to be on a different
Right.
cadence than the PC version.
Mhm.
My thing is that I don't see sales jumping and people saying, "Oh, the game's finally out officially 1.0."
Right.
I don't
Right.
think the product you're getting at 1.0 is vastly different than what you're going to get after these next updates, like with the snow level and all that
I
stuff.
mean, I don't necessarily like. People always try to say like PUBG's dead, but then you go on Steam, it's like the third most played game on Steam.
Yeah,
And
last time I checked on Xbox was like number 5. So
I
it's
think
still,
I think it was 4 yesterday when I checked.
Still up there. I was surprised by that. Yeah.
Like, look, like Fortnite's killing it. That's
Yeah.
definitely
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's like the Xbox. You don't have to be first to make money.
No, absolutely.
Still making money.
Absolutely. Shout out to Lord Trickstar on the track trolling. His PUBG running above 30 frames per second on the X yet.
That's an issue. They got to fix the performance of the game.
Yeah, I don't think it's running above 0 frames per second on the PlayStation.
Yo, it's savage.
So that is a good point.
That is a good point.
Whatever the resolution's better than 0 resolution.
You sound like
do you guys think that it's really viable for Microsoft to buy them now?
I think it is.
Shout out to Kid Smooth, man. He had a video, I think, on this too. I tweet on it as well. And you know, it's interesting because it's like I know the narrative and us as we get into our fanboy feeling sometimes with the whole PUBG versus Fortnite. But like you said, Solve, you made a good it's still selling. Like it and like Addict said, it's still the engagement is still high. Like number 5 on Xbox, there's still nothing, to sneeze about. And my whole thing is this. I want to shout out 2 lords. I want to shout out Lord Tim Dog. And he had a tweet in reference to just the whole, obviously a lot of people still are upset, with the performance issues and the patches and stuff like that. And, from what he was told, and it seemed like it came out, that the only way they can really, really get to this thing is if they kind of switch engines or revamp the engine completely, almost like a rebuild.
I feel like that investment's going to have to be made because that's the biggest thing that's hurting.
The rumor is that Brandon Green and those guys in Bluehole, they are going to start that process now. So they, I don't know if it's going to affect the current PUBG or maybe the next iteration, but from what I'm hearing, he was told that the only way, because everybody's like, hey, what's going on? Why is this thing, still struggling as far as performance? And that's what the rumor is. And then the second thing I want to bring out is shout out to Lord Randall Thor, because and shout out to the Xbox too, man. I love that podcast with Just Gordon and those guys. So it's like he made a point. He's hardcore PUBG, like just like King. Like Rand gets it in. But apparently, I don't know if some recent update happened, and I haven't played in a little while, but they were saying like, there's the frame rate issue. There's some issue that is kind of pissing people off right now. And a couple of his hardcore group were like, hey, I'm done with it or what have you. So I'm very curious to see with, now it getting close, how that affects the game.
They fixed that issue in the public test server with the update.
Oh, okay. So they fixed that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's talking about in the preview game. The preview game, when they did the update, it started affecting the frame rate.
Yes,
I noticed it, and then it became to the point that it was like, oh man, back to this again type of thing. Yeah. And then when I played the public test server this week, because I went in there by myself, I said, let me see, the updates and all this other stuff, and it was like night and day, completely night and day. Because I went back and played the preview version, and I was like, oh, okay, they need to do this by the 16th. By the 16th, you get what's inside the test server up inside the preview game.
Got you. Yeah, shout out to Relevator. He also said it said like almost like a week or 2 that they had issues. So since then it's been pretty much resolved.
No.
Since then. Oh, it's still ongoing.
It's still the same issue until after the 16th. After the 16th, that patch is going to go live. And then when that patch goes live, it's going to fix all those other issues.
Right, gotcha. Real quick, I know you're gonna jump on PUBG. I just want to. I know no one wants to talk about Inside Xbox. I'm just gonna make a real quick comment. I did catch it. Addict has a great video out right now. Please check it out on how to fix it. You know, I'm in agreement with a lot of his points. I think that ultimately it's still too long. It's still too corny. And there's some decent announcements. You know, and I'm still happy that it exists. Don't get me wrong. I like that the Dolby Vision.
I'm mad as hell you made me watch it. I'm mad as hell. Maybe I read that text wrong, but I am mad as hell because you said in the text, "Oh, good, the X." I don't know why you even told me about that, but you said that it can go with the PUBG topic. I was like, oh, so they talked about it in there. I watched that crap from beginning to end.
Inside Xbox with PUBG.
The Earth Ball.
Did you do a little sleight of hand on in there?
Yeah. I had to set him up a little bit.
I got an hour of my time.
I just went a little level Inside Xbox today.
An hour of my time is gone, and I want my hour back, brother.
Sorry,
I will get my hour back.
My bad. I did set you up a little bit. I just wanted a little extra.
Set me up crazy.
I just want to. It may have been spiteful because you forced me to talk about that crack-a-lacking switch in my time. So I'm like, all right, you would throw that on my time. I would throw this on you.
And I watched it blindly too because I was like, oh no, I go into it blind. And Sovereign put a weird comment that was in like, oh, it's gonna be jokes. I said, you know what? Let me just watch this stupid direct. And I keep calling it a direct because it should be like a direct. It should be in the format of a direct, but they want to make personalities. I care nothing about these people. Nothing at all. And I've met these people. You understand? I've met them. All right? He's not interesting in person. I'm not going to shout you out because L Boogie knows who I'm talking about. I'm not going to shout you out, but they're trying to push you as the next hottest, latest. You are not it, bro. And it is actually comes off as super corny.
We here at the ILP podcast.
They don't dictate that. I met you and it's super corny. So if you can actually be you, maybe it'll come off better. And that's probably what they're banking on, that you're going to turn into you at some point in time. But right now, you're stinking it up and it's making it super whack. And I get so upset. I just watching it with the sound off.
Yeah, shout out to Let me jump in and then I'll let Addict because I know Addict's ready. It's just that, like, you know what it is for me? I don't like the live format. I think they need to record the show and then edit.
Throw it in the bushes.
Yeah. Yo, you stupid. I think that it doesn't work well live. I think that's just what it is. It still needs to be condensed. Like what King said, to me, it needs to be a direct format and just boom, 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 boom. Get us in, get us out. That's it. Like this live thing, don't get me wrong, the production value is hot. Like I'm not disrespecting it. But it's just like, Lord Cat Daddy, what's up?
Listen, just because they put a chandelier in the background doesn't make it hot. It stinks.
Lord Addict, you had a great video on this, man. Talk about it.
I feel like that Inside Xbox is unfairly criticized because people expect like E3 announcements every month.
I'm with you.
I feel like the majority of the reason this was even created was for Game Pass. I think that we'll see a lot more of Inside Xbox next gen. And
I hope not.
Shout out to Mike Bear. He low-key just posted an ILP shirt.
Oh.
I literally just refreshed Twitter. Sorry, I completely interrupted the podcast, but Mike Bear was wearing an ILP shirt.
Mike is the front of the realm. That gets love.
Yeah, I'm so happy because when I gave it to him, I was happy that I gave it to him. That was
salute to Mike Bear, man. Good dude.
At the end of the day, I think we'll see Inside Xbox be more relevant next generation.
Yeah, I mean, guys, so did you get your chop off with this?
Who, me? I'm good.
Wow, yo, Mikey Barra, shout out to Barra, y'all. We gotta put this up. This is legendary, man. Salute to the Lord of it. Oh wow, we're gonna have to put this up. Give me a sec. Keep talking, I'm gonna get it for you.
No, I mean, listen, the show. I agree. I don't need to see the personalities. Just give me something like a direct. Give me the information. Like all the Forza stuff is
I don't
cool.
even think the live thing's the issue. It's the way they present it. Like,
yeah, it's how they presenting it, and
like,
I don't like it.
I get they want to be funny, but they're not.
But yeah, it's not, that's not their lane. That's
like it's okay to have like some funny moments in it, but don't try to have them people be funny. I think what they need to stick with inside Xbox is it needs to stick to the interview format. It needs to have that. They need to keep the community aspect in, because I do think the black dude's funny. And
that's exactly where I was at with what I was talking about.
That's right now.
Mikey Barra put it up, y'all. That's what's up. Shout out to you, Barra. That's what's up.
And I feel like
very humble.
It's not that they're not funny. I feel like they try to force it, and that makes it not funny. Like it's Todd Howard directing that. It's gonna be lit.
Yo,
Mikey,
wait a second.
Mikey Barra, baby.
When I retweeted that, I was so busy in what I was doing because I was on Instagram.
You didn't even notice.
I was on.
Oh, fat!
I didn't.
Shout out to Cat Daddy Fat Stat.
What did Cat do? What did Cat do?
Oh wow, Cat! Oh wow, brother.
What Cat do?
Cat, you look at the chat. Cat.
Wow,
brother. Thank you so much, man.
Wow.
Cat,
thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you, man.
Supporting us like that, man. I appreciate it. I really do.
Wow. Salute. And it's the first time he hit me up last week and he said, hey man, he didn't know that we have, obviously we're affiliated with Tick, and that he didn't realize that we do go live the day before. So he was catching the episodes a week after. And then he put the timeline together. He's like, yo, how can I catch y'all live? I'm like, Tick Network, man. That's where you get it first, as far as the podcast is concerned. So salute the Lord Cat Daddy. That man was on the road. And we really appreciate you, man. That meant very humble, bro. Very humble. Thank you so much. And salute to Mikey Barra again, too, man. This is humbling today. Really appreciate it.
I did not know that was what I was retweeting.
Yeah, man.
Because he put it like the Lord's Day or something, and I retweeted it because I always retweet everybody's. I'm like a fool for retweeting. I'm like, I don't care who you are. If I'm in it, I'm gonna like and I'm gonna retweet it. Sometimes I gotta look because I got some weird stuff going on with this battery. Man. So I gotta double check it. Like y'all been going too far with this battery stuff. It's getting out of control. Y'all gotta cut it out. But wow, man, I'm so happy that he even liked the shirt, man. I really am really pleased with that.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, just to finish up the Inside Xbox topic, yeah, I agree with all the Lords. I mean, this is still a work in progress. I'm appreciative that it exists. Let's be clear, though. Don't get me wrong. Not that I don't want it to go away, because the complaint before was, we don't know anything until E3, right? I think Addict is on it, though, that it seems to be a great platform for Game Pass and them to kind of really bring this thing forward. So I like that aspect of it. And I want to shout out as far as the Dolby Vision, though. We didn't get that look.
Yeah.
That's a good look, y'all. Because at the end of the day, we have the HDR competing formats, the HDR10 and Dolby Vision. And for Xbox to be so forward thinking and to at least, now I know right now people are like, hey, it's just video, it's not gameplay, but just for it to be forward thinking, to give people who have those Dolby Vision only sets to be able to at least, utilize it, that's great. You know what I'm saying? As far as Forza Horizon 4, shout out to Def Singer, look fantastic. You know what I'm saying? As far as weather and stuff like that, the changes. Forza is going to do Forza. Like, Forza is the great, racing platform. It's just a lot of us, hardcore, we don't care for it as much. So it doesn't, we like, whatever, Forza. But it's fantastic. And then
at the end of the day, they got the best racer in the entire industry.
They got the best racer on the platform, period.
They worked hard for that.
And they work hard for that. Shout out to Turn.
They bought them because they were doing so much.
Right. I want to say something, though. I was a little upset, though, with where they had Sean Murray on with No Man's Sky.
Right.
It really wasn't me. Like, they didn't show a lot of the next features, I felt.
No, I don't know how ready that stuff is. I have no interest in this game, but this is the opportunity for that game to get, a second chance with on a console that hasn't had it. So, you gotta. I understand the trepidation and bigging it up, like making it seem like it's a huge thing, like you know what I mean? Because we know what happened when they originally did that. So, but yeah, you should have shown more. You should have shown more. And I'm glad that Sean Murray's out from under his rock and he's not afraid to come out and have people, because he disappeared for a while because people were really getting.
He got hammered, man. He got hammered. I don't care what nobody said. The game was solid in what the game was. But
he did kind of say that
you
can meet people in the same world.
He did. You
to not be true.
He lied.
Yeah. But he didn't know what platform that he was playing on. He thought he was launching on the Xbox, and he thought that the ecosystem was friendly. Then when he got on the PlayStation, he said, "We don't got no servers."
Hold
up. We ain't got a cloud. I thought we had cloud power. He said, no, it's just straight up what we got. So we're not gonna see anybody, huh?
I'm excited about the We Happy Few story mode. Like,
yes.
Am I the only one that's thinking We Happy Few looking lit now?
Yo, I was
gonna say way better.
It looks way better.
Once they got purchased, they look way better.
I just think
because I wasn't buying it.
When we first saw that game, we saw that weirdness that reminded you sort of a BioShock. And then when the game went into early access, it was all that survival stuff, and it was like, this is not what I saw. Like, now they're showing that they did have something in the works. So this is what I'm interested in this game for. Not the other
feel like. I feel like We Happy Few, like that trailer. I mean, obviously they showed us some lit shit when the game was announced, and it never showed up in the game. But like them showing me that in that direction, if that game is anything like that, I could see them making some bomb games for Microsoft. Like,
I could see them.
So
I just like the variety in the studios that they've picked up.
Yes.
Like, you have guys that can make huge games, small games. Like they have a great variety there, and they're not done, right? They're not done. So I just think these guys, they got talent, man. There's a lot of talent.
E3 left my body already.
Yeah.
And after seeing what Sony coming with, I'm just like, I'm gonna give y'all that,
No, I hear you.
But bruh, I'm so fed up with the fact that being an Xbox stan, it's like you gotta go to AA. You gotta sit down and you gotta really start acknowledging this. You PlayStation dudes is out here rocking.
Yes, they are.
That Spider-Man, no one can tell me. And listen, I know what I say when I say God of War looks like, wow. I just posted up a video of that Spider-Man. That Spider-Man, bro, I cannot wait for the day it drops, because you won't see me on Xbox and I won't be live on PlayStation because I do not have PSN, so don't try to talk to me. I guess they can't do it. Unless I have
you could talk on PSN with no
Oh, okay. So then I can talk to you, but I don't have a headset, so you just getting text. I'm not buying a headset.
No, Playtronics works for everything, bro.
Yeah, the
Playtronics. Oh, it does.
Not for the 800s, though. Not for the 800s.
Excuse me.
Oh, because I thought because my 800s is exclusive. So I might have to plug this one in.
Did you
shout out to Playtronics?
Did you get the 500s this last time out?
I didn't get anything.
He didn't get the fives. We're gonna get him the fives. We're gonna get him five. I might give you my fives too, because I got something else.
Okay.
But I can finish your point.
Right now, I'm sorry to keep going on this tangent, because I'm hurt. Like, I'm hurt because we got games and they play nice, but really, do they look like those games over there?
I hear you.
No, because I don't even believe the trailers when the games come out anymore. I'm like, that's not real. Until I can see Detroit, and I play Detroit, and I'm like, that was real as hell.
That's fantastic, man. We can't take anything away from the Sony dev teams. I mean, those studios and what Barlog and these guys have done with God of War, and what these guys have done with Detroit and Cage and those guys at Quantum Dream, and now we got Sammy Lock with what you call it. It's truly phenomenal. Good at it.
And the sad part is, like, I don't even think we need games that's like story driven like that. Like we do need something like, and I feel like what I've been told, they put in the kind of budget behind Fable that's like that kind of budget.
Absolutely.
Good, please do.
The thing that I am looking for next generation systems, though, in reference to these Xbox games that will be coming out by these studios, is I do feel the CPU bottleneck does hinder a lot of stuff. And by them,
it ain't hindering their bottleneck. Their bottleneck is open. Why? Where's the hindrance on their neck? No, who got why the neck?
Listen, we had
on that side.
Listen, we had Lord Richard Fogey on, and we asked the question. We asked the co-op tethering question from Undead Labs. You know, shout out to Fogey. You got to bring him back on. A tremendous show. And you know, he did say that one of the things is just, you know, memory and CPU constraints to manage, you know, 4 independent entities.
Why brought an X though?
But remember, the X,
like I'm like, no, right now this is turning into. I must have woke up and found out why I brought an X. Like,
at the end of the day, we still have to understand that yes, the GPU has improved, right, on the X tremendously,
and they overclocked the CPU.
Yeah, but the CPU is still kind of that
took the hand off the neck though.
But it's still an older processor, and at the end of the day, that's the limitation. That's what prevents.
Question, sir.
See these water bottle.
Oh my God, boss! Stop
it. Question.
Okay.
Doesn't the PlayStation use Jaguars?
Good question. I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
So isn't the overclock X equivalent to the PlayStation Pro's Jaguar? Isn't it more power and more CPU power?
It did more than the Pro, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
I think
it clocks faster, but that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it.
Can we just a quick question before I go into this? Can we just drop the Fortnite season 5 thing?
Oh, why are you shutting me down?
It's not I'm shutting you down. We're already 11 minutes over.
We're over.
No,
I'm just like I woke up and I just realized why buy X though, and it's at the point right now. This Spider-Man is coming and it's right there. It's right around the corner, and these games.
So you've come full circle since the beginning of the podcast, and now you agree with that. Wait a minute, what is going on?
No, I don't. No. I don't agree with Addict in a sense. I know why I have an X.
Okay.
His thing is different. No, his thing is different. His thing is way different. All right, that's
he's gonna bring this about money somehow. Watch
we're diametrically opposed on that thing he's talking about.
Okay.
That's what it sounded like about 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, but my thing is, no, you stop.
Backstep. Go ahead, King. You ain't that big. You can backstep easier.
No, you can stop.
So turn around and walk. You don't even need a backstep.
My thing is stop. My thing is, if it's more powerful, right? I just give me one game this generation for that X. Okay, I don't care if it ever plays on the S. I don't care if it
want something to showcase. You want a power showcase game.
Yeah, or do a demo. Put a demo out in the preview to show the power of the X.
You know, I completely agree with you. Like,
it's just the philosophy.
I do think.
Get at it.
I do think there's a baseline to what games should look like for every gen, and like State of Decay, as much as I love it, it was a little bit below the baseline what a game should look like in the Xbox One.
Right.
Yeah,
I hear what you're saying. Let's move on. Obviously, we had our points on this.
Trust me, Addict. I'm not going to be talking about Fortnite like breaking Fortnite down. Don't worry about it.
This is different. Trust me. This is going to be quick, man.
Play Fortnite?
No. Let me get into
Lord
Sovereign. Final topic of the day. Fortnite season 5. What's going on?
So, as Lord Addict said, let me preface everything.
Throw it in the bushes.
Yeah. Let me preface everything I'm going to say with 2 disclaimers, right?
Yes.
First off, I have not played Fortnite, nor do I know if I will ever play Fortnite.
Fraud confirmed. Keep going.
That's right. Exactly.
Good to
Number 2, I'm firmly in the camp that says F Epic for taking advantage of the business relationship they have.
But it's this topic. Keep going.
Yes.
To copy their PUBG blueprint into their game.
Right.
Essentially,
not have been the most ethical thing.
Exactly.
And then do it way better.
Exactly. They do basically their game that was dead in the water.
Lord Sonaldo, throw it in the bushes, burn the bushes. Fortnite, so over Fortnite.
But no, just hear me out.
Got it.
the truth of the matter is that these guys, they weren't rushing out to make a battle royale game when people were playing the culling and H1Z1 or DayZ.
Right.
No, they went and made a battle royale game after they had access to PUBG's engine. And so, listen, I get
access to PUBG's engine. You mean their engine?
Their engine, exactly. Well, access to PUBG.
Now they got a hold of their DNA and clone
With
them.
that said, again, so I'm not in their corner when it comes to that. But that said, if you're going to blatantly rip off a concept and make it your own, then you should improve upon it. And that's why I got to give them credit. Fortnite Battle Royale is polished. It's on everything with crossplay, on nearly all devices with crossplay, not all. It's by all accounts fun to play. As I said, I have not played the game. It's free.
So how would you know it's polished?
You're just looking at it. It's polished. Looking at it is polished.
Oh, so you're going off of visuals. So we back to the first
Oh,
topic.
God. Here we go. Here, stop. King is savage today.
Everything that you can buy in that game is cosmetic.
Yes.
And it's extremely well supported. And that's what I want to focus on. The support model that this game has, I think, is really where it's brilliant. What Epic manages to do on a weekly and a seasonal like update model with the ARG implementation, dude, what these guys have done is
out updates quicker than
all the time. What they do in this game is they create like a sense of narrative and continuous story in a game and in a game mode that doesn't need it. Battle Royale doesn't need all of this quote unquote stories type stuff, right?
They're geniuses. That's all it comes down to.
Absolutely.
And then by doing this, they create a level of investment. And then, here's that dirty word again that we always use: engagement.
I love engagement.
In a game world that it goes beyond what you would expect from a battle royale game, right? It's ridiculous. So if you look at everything Epic has done leading up to this season 5, right? With that rocket launch that caused a rift in the sky, and then the formation of these smaller rifts, which then in turn they made things in the world disappear or be destroyed. Things appeared in the real world, and all this ARG they're doing, like, mind you, ARG isn't for everybody, right?
Salute. Thank you, Chief Tommy. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for that contribution, bro.
Thank you, Chief Tommy. Chief Tommy said, yo, you want $50? Let's go.
Appreciate you, man.
Baby.
Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
That's my man right there.
Continue, sir.
No doubt, Chief Tommy. So if you look at what they've done, like with the ARG and how they keep people, like, ARG isn't for everybody, right? Like, that's for the hardcore to go out there and figure out all this craziness. But the beauty of that is that they bring all that information back to everybody who's not as hardcore about that, just wants to play the game. And all that information is for everybody to use, right? So what they've done is they create a continuous narrative thread through the game that makes players feel like they're unlocking the mysteries of the world, right? Like, in a very organic way. And my point to all this is that this is very different to how the shared world games that we've been playing till now, like Destiny, The Division, even Monster Hunter, and maybe what Anthem is going to be. It's very different to how they disseminate story in their games, right? And this is my whole point to this is that all of these games need to look to Epic and Fortnite Battle Royale and how they handle narrative in that game and basically copy that. Because the thing about it is, what are the issues people have with Destiny? What are the issues people have with narrative and how that narrative is given to you, right? They give you the base game when you buy it, and you play all of that information, all of that stuff, and then you wait months for whatever the big content drop is, right? And then you get more story in that. And that's how stories just dropped in those games. Same for The Division, same even Monster Hunter, where they tried to create like this continuous world. But then with Monster Hunter, you go and you like, okay, we have Ryu, we have Mega Man, and then you have this upcoming Final Fantasy like 14 type crossover thing, but it's not really expanding on the world of Monster Hunter the way it can be. And if the discussions we had around Anthem about what's going to happen with no PvP, what if the story content is short, and then what are you going to be doing in that game? What this game does, they need to copy this flat out. Because to me, if you come out, imagine Destiny 1, right? You played the initial, well, whatever Destiny was initially, right? And then a week later, they give you something happens in the world, like some comet's coming out of the sky. Everybody in the game can see this. They're like, yo, let's go to that location. Where the hell is that comet going? It lands. It causes some kind of thing in the world that everybody can see, everybody can react to. And all of these little strains create mysteries within the world that open up the narrative and lead to the other things that make keep you invested in the game in a way that the way they drop narrative now doesn't do. People will play all this stuff, rock it out, and then walk away from it.
That's a good point. Continue, Kay, and then I'll jump in.
Let me give you the reason why. Let me give you the reason why. First of all, from all the sales that they sold, which probably is in the billions, they lowered the price of the tools for anybody that wants to use that engine. Because of how much money
they popping if they did that.
Exactly. They said they want everybody in the world to use their tools, and they lowered the price because of
we don't need the money no more.
Well, okay, there's a business move there.
Right, but this is the reason why they're able to do what you're talking about, and why Destiny won't do it, and why other games won't do it. These are the sole controllers of the engine and the house that they work in.
Right.
So they're able to produce this information and this stuff out at a rapid pace in a business model that is economic for them because they control a bigger stake opposed to Activision and Bungie and another company. So I know you would like that to happen across the boards, but unless a company controls the engine that they're producing, that controls the house that they work in, and the workers and the game, they're the sole controllers. And they push it out on other systems. It's on every platform, doing numbers on every platform. They're able to do what you want them to do.
The funny thing is, all right, this is what I would want, but I agree with you completely. I think they're the only ones that in the position to be able to give that amount of support on a weekly basis, because this is weekly.
Yeah, that's the difference. Let me tell you how true it is. I gotta jump in real quick, because as a Switch owner, I've been having problems with my Switch lately. I'll jump on. I mean, I'll take it out the dock. I'm ready to go to work, and I'm not out the dock. I'm just take it out the case. I'm ready to go to work, and I look at the battery. I'm like, why is my battery always down at like 27% all of a sudden? And I just it was really driving me crazy until I had a talk with Kaibatsu, and he's like, yeah, Fortnite's probably updating a lot now that you got it.
Yep.
And I'm like, really? They update? Because normally, like, Switch supports the background downloading.
Dude, it'd be updating all the time.
It's all the time. And I'm like, yo, my Switch can't take it. One time, literally, my Switch was like at 5%.
Switch can't handle updating. I'm done. I don't want to ever bring up the Switch ever again.
Addict, his Switch started cracking and walking.
Oh my God. I set myself up.
No, in the bushes.
But like that's what I was saying, is that it makes sense. Like, it is just showing the frequency, that the level of support Epic is giving it, and it's just really cool. You know what I mean? And just to see that across the board, and just like, besides that whole thing you're saying, Saul, which is like this narrative induced thing in the world, right? And it's just like, wow, like they have created a story in a non-narrative game, a battle royal game. And it's just interesting, and it's very good. And to be honest, you know what doesn't get enough credit? I feel was before that, when they had Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. Remember that?
That was crazy.
And it was great.
That was crazy.
Crazy marketing.
That's how you know they made
That's when you know. When you got Drake.
Yeah, that's what you got.
Crazy. You know what's crazy? You know how you know they making money? It wasn't like 3 or 4 months after Infinity War. It was like the weekend before.
Yeah.
Like usually when it comes to marketing like that, they're not gonna they don't want you taking like the shine off their movie. They're like, nah, man, like you're just as big as us.
Yo, it's perfect timing when they dropped with Infinity War, and it's like they're on it, man. They're on it. You can't take anything away from it. It's a marketing movement. Like Lord King said, they are sole controls of that engine, so those updates come out fast. I mean, just impressive. Even way before that, 4K on X. This game looks amazing on X. Like, whoa! Like I was like, all right, I gotta at least play. You know what I'm saying? Like just see what's going. Even though I'm PUBG,
Yeah,
you know?
It's like I
played
said
too.
yesterday
I played
with
with
Lord
Lord
Sinister.
Sinister.
After
And I
enough
threw it in the
time,
bushes.
it's like I said yesterday. After enough time, it's gotten big enough for like I can't ignore it anymore.
You can't ignore
Like,
it. They're everywhere. And shout out to Lord Sin. You know, he's the story of the PV. Is good. But just now, and I love that Microsoft and Nintendo are playing so nice because again, it's so cool to be at work, do something in Fortnite, come home, fire up the X. All the progression is there. But you know what I'm saying? And since he teases me, he's like, you got no excuse.
Isn't
You know
Fortnite crossplay too?
Yes.
Yes.
Bro,
Yeah.
they forced my hand. Like there was no way I could not play it because I'm like, I play Switch. I was all right, cool, cross play and cross progression. And what I like, shout out to Mikey Barra, Lord in the Realm. I like that they're really pushing cross progression. Like we said in the earlier topic, that's the wave, man. That could you imagine?
Yeah.
You know, I don't laugh because y'all gonna say Switch can't handle no Destiny. But you know what I'm saying? Could you imagine like other games
Can handle
doing this?
Destiny at 220p.
Oh my god, that's savage. But it's just so cool, man. You know what I mean? To see that kind of thing. And that's ultimately solve what we wanted the Vita to be. Remember?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
I can't play the Vita anymore. I literally can't bring myself to play it.
The
Switch is
not with the
spoiled
Switch
me.
out there. I can't. Yeah, I can't do it. It's just, but that's pretty much what I got on it, man. I think this is great. I think this is great stuff. We're gonna see the momentum that they have and how they're gonna go with it. But yeah, we'll see.
My link just came up for Comic-Con. We gotta wrap this up.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, we gotta wrap it. So let's get us out of here, man. This was a long one. You know what I'm saying? Apologize, guys. I think something, hopefully Lord Southbound is okay. And we will get him back on the show when schedules allow. But with the new ILP poll for the week, when Microsoft execs, this is crazy how timing is of this question, and games like Fortnite pushing the idea of cross progression, how important is cross progression to you as a gamer to have this feature? A, cross progression is an overblown feature, not mandatory. B, cross progression is the future of gaming. Or C, I don't care. It's fake concern because Xbox and Switch is losing them MPD sales.
Wow.
That is the question. Those are the choices. Please rock the ILP vote when it goes up tomorrow. Obviously, like I said, salute to all the chat today, first of all. In the realm, Heart, Cat Daddy, all our new Patreon supporters, Lord Xbox Quick in the building. Man, oh man, yes. Tremendous Chief Tommy. Tremendous support. We really appreciate y'all, and we love that y'all.
Shout out to Moose for being the troll he is.
Yo, shout out to Boss Moves for being the troll. Oh my god, he's
Boss
amazing.
Move is out of control.
He's
out of control. He's throwing everything in the bushes. And
he said Cognito dropped the resolution down to 180p, 180p. It should help with the battery life.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to Cal in the chat. Everybody on the chat was tremendous. Y'all kept us rocking today, man. I really want to salute that. And like I said, the new Patreon subscribers, it really means a lot.
Shout out to Mikey Barr for wearing an ILP
shirt. Humbling, man. So humble, man. Facts. Like that means you have no idea how much that means to us. And like I said, just really appreciate you guys rocking with us. And we're going to keep trying to keep building and giving you guys the best content. You see King out here, social media. You got the stream team with Addict, Solve, the Lord Patreon of the Iron Bank and the ILP. You know what I mean? We rocking, man. Of course,
that should be starting probably the week after next.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. So, Lord Addict.
Lord Addict, give a shout out to all the people that's on the stream team.
Yes, let's shout out our stream team.
Actually, a couple of them are actually in the chat. Yeah. Well, I know one of them is. Shout out to L Boogie. I know she's one of them.
Yeah, shout out to Lady L Boogie. That's what's up. Killing them softly.
We did have another one, Lord PD. He's going to be one of them as well.
Snollied out.
And I what's the third one's name? I don't want to butcher the name.
Yeah, that's Lord G. Oh man, I don't have Super it up G? Right now. I'm sorry. I'm terrible. Yeah, Super G.
Oh, okay, cool. Super G. He follows me on Twitter. He's a Destiny player. Yes.
Shout out to that. Definitely be tweeting out ILP. You know what games you would like them to stream. We'll take that into consideration. We're not going to guarantee that they stream those games, but we'll definitely take that in consideration because ILP is always we want to support the community. That's the whole point of this, and if the streamers like to stream that, we'll definitely try to make sure that happens.
Absolutely, we definitely want to promote you guys.
You're gonna be at Comic-Con this weekend. Comic-Con is not until October.
No
you
doubt.
talk about the San Diego.
The San Diego Comic-Con, yeah, the big one.
Put up pictures.
Yes, please do. And shout out to Lil K Meg in the chat. Good seeing you, bro. I met him out there in E3, man. Tremendous stuff. Let's do our outros. Get out there. He's got to get Lord Addict. What's going on with you? Where can people find you, man?
You won't find me on PlayStation this week, but you'll find me on Xbox. I've been trying to go back to the Mario Odyssey thing, but I'm not really feeling it too much. Definitely, I've been playing a little bit of PC. I'm gonna really get down on a couple things. I got some stuff to announce here soon. Keep an eye out for the ILP and my personal Twitter.
Nice.
We'll be announcing more stuff on the streaming team. We're still looking for a fourth person, so if you think you
Relevant Native asking he wants info on the stream team. That sounds like recruitment.
Right.
It's going to be on
Twitch.
DM Lord Addict, man.
DM Lord Addict, and he'll give you that information on what's going on.
And if anyone in the chat feels like they can stream, definitely hit me up. We'll take your credentials, see if everything's good on that end. I mean, but at the end of the day, I'm not. I do have some criteria to stream. But we'll go into all that. Definitely appreciate. Definitely see K Mega come in. Appreciate everyone that jumped by.
A lot of new faces today. Really appreciate it.
And it's been. We do this for the community. We definitely appreciate everyone that shows by. Another shout out to Fat Stacks. That's probably the most I've ever seen anyone super chat. Thanks for that. And we'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Lord Sov, what's going on with you? And where can people find you?
LordSovILP on Twitter. I'm not going to say the other stuff because I have not been on there. But
you have not been gaming on a gaming podcast?
Not on the platforms of late. But big shout out to Cat Daddy finally making a live show. I know it's tough for him. That's amazing. And shout out to all our new patrons. Really, it's amazing. And shout out to get you guys in the chat every single week, man. You guys make this show. Show. There's no doubt about it.
Shout out to Aaron Summers who got us all arguing with each other. He said one thing, and
we're gonna have to.
Lords at war.
We're gonna have to set up a Q&A one time for the
chat
community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so absolutely, thank you guys, and bomb chicken goat.
Woo! Yeah, you better stop. Salute you, Lord Sov, the Lord Patreon, Iron Bank holding us down. That's what's up. Yeah, man, Lord King, man, what you got going? And that combat talk looked lit, man.
Oh man, thank you. I appreciate it. I just took your advice. I got a good video editing software, and also Echo machines. I don't want to say it wrong. So I'm gonna give him a proper shout out next week because we're working with him in conjunction of doing more intros and stuff like that.
Yes, fantastic
He does fantastic work. He worked very hard and he worked very quickly and very passionately. He's always in contact, so you'll never lose contact with him at all times. I mean, this man stays up all night. So I do want to thank him for bringing my vision to fruition. So I do appreciate everything that he did. So as far as getting that stuff out, first and foremost, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, what is that? Twitch and Instagram. We are all there, and it's called Iron Lord Podcast. All over the place. So you can't mix the name up. You can't mess the name up. It's not with a Z. It's not with Iron Lord Podcast. So you'll be able to get that. Then soon the link is going to pop up for these t-shirts and these cups and all this wonderful stuff that you can get with the Iron Lord's brand on it. Combat Talk is on the channel, on the ILP channel. You can jump on there right now. There's 2 episodes up. They're not long. They're short. You know why they're short? Because I get to the point and I talk about exactly what you want to hear and I give my predictions. We're going to be doing expanding. It's growing. I'm going to have ideas with it. Talk with Jay Fonzarelli. That's my guy.
Shout out to Lord Fonz.
So he's gonna bring in that aspect of the UFC. So when I say combat sports, I'm not just talking about boxing. I'm talking about everything. MMA is going to be involved as well. Probably going to get some kickboxing up in there, some wrestling from the Olympics. I don't know, but if you catch two bums fighting, I might have to report on that. So I just want y'all to know that we're passionate about this. Is about pure gaming, and when I say the word pure gaming, those words, that phrase, pure gaming. Gaming at its purest level. When you first picked up a controller, that's what we want to bring back. We want to bring back that sense of oneness, like wonder, like wow. Because you weren't a Sony head or an Xbox head. You were a gamer. So we're trying to get back to pure gaming.
Oh man, well said, and that's what we're trying to promote, man. Shout out to King on the Combat Talk and handling the social media. First of all, that Instagram is lit. I want to give you a lot of credit on that. A lot of nostalgic pictures of the Lords at events, running around, just cool gaming stuff. We're gonna have more coming up, man. I'm gonna start contributing to that Instagram as well, because a lot of those pictures really brought back a lot of memories. Us at different E3s, just fun stuff, man. So that was really a great idea by the King, and we respect that. But yeah, man, like I said, shout out to everybody in chat. It was tremendous. Please, like I said, you guys hit that like and subscribe, and the Patreon is amazing. It really helps us. We got more stuff coming and announcements on the way. Also, I want to shout out Lord Kaibatsu. He's gonna get that audio up hopefully later on tonight. We'll put the timestamps out.
Stuff from like 2 E3s ago on this Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram is amazing, man. Please, he's got like E3 2016.
You got like the worst pictures I've ever took on this shit, man.
Yeah, like I was like, wow, I don't remember this one. He got me out of pocket.
Yo, but that picture that I got with you with the girl from there, Automata, that is awesome, because I remember your face when you saw it. I was like, yo, Addict, get her.
Yeah.
Like, so we can take the picture.
I got one of Addict with some Deadpool chick, and I swear when I put it up, everybody was like, yo, that's the first time we ever seen Lord Addict smile on a picture.
Yeah, I was feeling that chick. I ain't gonna lie.
Yes, you had a good time. You had a good time in E3 with the booth.
Yes.
So, yeah, man. And also, like I said, ILP channel, we've got a lot of new exciting content up there. We still got more E3 content that we still have to put up there as well as Flashpoint, y'all. 23 with my man Lord Ebontis is up. Hardcore Destiny talk. And of course, that's married with the Combat Talk that we're gonna be giving to y'all. It's gonna be on Saturday's first predictions, and then Sunday morning after the fight. How's it working?
Well, what it's gonna go is as soon as the weigh-in goes up, then I'm gonna give my predictions, because I don't give predictions until after I see the weigh-in.
Gotcha.
See how these boys look when they're standing up on that stage.
No
and
doubt.
then after that, but before then, we're gonna get fight breakdowns. So on super fights like Triple G versus Canelo, I'm gonna give a fight breakdown on what each guy has to do to win. And then on the day of the weigh-in, then I'm going to give my prediction. And after that, in the morning, I'm going to give you the results. And if I was right,
Love the
was right
format
this time, because I told you Lucas Matisse said real quick.
You did it. You said it. Shout out to everybody in that, man. Fantastic. Like I said, great content. Please support both channels, the Inner Circle Network and, of course, the Iron Lord Podcast YouTube channel. I know we went late. Everybody, if anything else to say?
No,
we go good. All right, everybody, enjoy your Sunday. It's the Lord's Day, and we out. Peace.